We are back with a brand new edition, of course. Not having the best of the hair days, but it's all right. We're going to make it work. The show must go on. It's fucking hot here. Can we just share that? Just right up the cuff. It's hot here. It's 80. Ew. But anyway, I digress. Allow me to introduce myself in case you're new here. My name is Jen. I'm your manifestation bestie, where I teach you how to leverage the law of assumption and everything else in your life to work in your favor. I obviously already know that sounds good. You used to click that follow button, subscribe button wherever you're watching from. What up, Casey? Hopefully you got my message. Okay. What up, Karen? Also, if you're interested in having me manifest your SP for you, or you want one-on-one coaching with me to figure out where you're going wrong so you can get it right, because a lot of you going wrong, and I'm not understanding. So all links are in my bio. You can also get access to my WhatsApp community. My WhatsApp community, you also get coaching in there. We have text coaching. We have guided meditations, hypnosis audios, all the things that help you make your life easier. What up, MKD sister? Anything we have to make your life easier, okay? And if you're on YouTube, links are in the description. All right. Now, I should probably simplify my description on YouTube now that I'm thinking about it. Anyway, I go live every single day at 10 o'clock Pacific time on TikTok. If you ever miss a live, don't even trip. What up, soul? Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I put them on, I try every single day if TikTok cooperates. But it's always on the tube of the you. Okay, so while you're there, watch them. Let them play on Bluegrass. I don't give a shit. Let them do something. I'm looking forward to working with you. Just wowie. I do have a YouTube channel. The link is in my bio. Okay. I am going to this weekend. I'm bunkering down and I'm going to produce a shit ton of content for TikTok as well as the tube of you, because tube of you has been neglected. So I have shorts, but I should post them. Yeah. I'm going to do all of that today. Hey, Lana, girlfriend. Hopefully your night went good last night with SP. Okay. If you have any questions about SPs, drop them in the comments. I'm here to answer the questions that you have. Also, every day we have what up, Nest girlfriend? Every day we have a little competition here on TikTok, where if you repost the live, share the live, then you'll be entered to win some prizes. Okay. Okay. Now, we don't do something, this is not exclusive to SPs. It's mainly about SPs. If you don't like that shit, scroll into the next. Okay. But if you want to know how to manifest money, weight loss, all the things, I got you covered. I manifested my SP back from no contact to living with me in 4 weeks. So I'm good at it. And I'm here to help you do the same. Okay. The amount of testimonials I have, that doesn't even compare to a lot of creators who've been doing this shit for years. And I've only been teaching it about 4 months now. Okay, kind of fell into it. I also, I can't wait, girl. I also, I've lost 100 pounds in 11 months, no diet, no exercise. It's how I got my start in the manifestation community. My entire background is the study of the mind, subconscious mind specifically. What up, Haley, girlfriend? So that's what makes me different than everybody else, is I'm here to help you actually, get your shit. And the reason why I know how to do that is because I know how the subconscious mind works, right? You're not consciously creating anything. All you're doing is being consciously aware of what you're creating so we can change that shit. Know what I mean? Okay. Thanks, Lindsay, girlfriend. All right. So there's a rising. Casper, what do you, okay, let's see here. Oh, that wasn't even Casey. My bad, girl. What up, Haley, girlfriend? Okay. Yes, it was Casey. Okay, Casey. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. What do you think you're doing wrong? Dish, girlfriend. What's your problem? Thank Kennedy. Okay, so I can help you. That's what I'm here to do. But so many of you get in your own fucking ways. It's really, really annoying. It's really annoying because here's what I keep telling you guys, that everything they say is feedback out of their mouth. It's all feedback. Okay, it's literally all feedback. I have responded to 3. If you have text coaching with me, by the way, and you're not in the WhatsApp, if you're not in a WhatsApp chat with me and my admins, please reach out to them so that they can go ahead and put you in there, because I want you to get same day responses. Okay. Sometimes I get overwhelmed. So I am trying to do better, but it helps if all of you are in one damn fucking place. So therefore I can coach each and every one of you. Just run through the list instead of going through all my messages. You know what I mean? So reach out to them so they can put you in the WhatsApp group. And it's a private group, just you, me, and the admins. Intimate setting. Okay, so we can help you. Anyway, last 4 people I've dealt with today and yesterday. It's all the same shit, which I love because I'm here to help you change that. But you'll always be like, you'll be like, they said this, that, and the fucking third. I said, okay, what part of read between the lines is unclear? When they say, like, I need you to get clear, like, you need to decide what it is that you want. I need you to figure out what you want in this relationship. They're literally begging you to figure the shit out. Because when you figure it out, guess what they get? Clarity. They know what they want because you know what they want. Because you're clear on their feelings for you and if they want to be in a relationship with you. I literally have talked to 4 people about the same shit. Y'all got to ditch the shit. Okay? You need to let go of the bad shit. Let it go. I told you guys what to do yesterday. Hopefully you did your fucking homework so you can drop the shit. Because when you don't drop it, it comes up again in relationship 2.0, you know, the next one that you and your SP are going to be in. Well, because you haven't fully dropped the resentment of certain things from your past, it comes back up to the surface again. Stop fucking doing that to yourself. Get over it. Get over it. Seriously. You have to look at it this way. Are you seriously walking around holding nothing but grudges and resentment towards everybody who has ever done anything to you in your entire fucking life? Seriously? You understand that if that was the case, then none of us would have relationships with our children? Because, you understand? Like, you can't seriously be that person that just holds grudges the rest of your life. For what purpose does that serve you? Get over it. Get over it. Get over it right now. Right now. Drop the bullshit. Drop it. Go ahead. Right now. Tell yourself right now, I'm over the shit. Go ahead. I'll wait. I'll wait while I look at these questions. But start telling yourself right now, I'm over the bullshit. I'm ready to move forward in my life. And with my SP, right? Like, this is in life. Like, you're going to sit there and seriously hold on to your past like that? Seriously? For fucking what? For what? When you can move on. Onward and upward. You know, that's what they say, onward and upward. Well, get onward and upward. You're digressing back in life every time you hold on to that shit. Get over it. And I'm going to tell you that again. Get over it. Now I'll move on to the questions before I feel like I will bitch at you later, because there's always rising trends in these fucking comments, if you know what I mean. Is it a good feeling if I feel kind of calm and like I got used to having my ending in state? Yes, Laura, that is. It's definitely better than the alternative where people are just like all up in their fucking feelings and forcing the 3D and going down sad lane 24/7 and having anxiety and feeling nervous. It's definitely better to be in a calm state. Because it's like, why do I need to panic? Why do I need to be paranoid if I know that how this plays out? There's nothing to worry about. I'm going to play my part and I'm going to do my things. I'm going to get very clear on everything so that they get very clear. That's how thought transmission works. And then just know that it's done. Yes. That's what I highly recommend. What up, Jackie girlfriend? All right. Who is? My SP met up with another girl last night and I am spiraling. So banish this. Banish that girl. Banish the girl. Okay, first of all, I would love to know how you know this. Okay. Did they tell you? Or did you go fishing? Fishing doesn't help you. Okay? So if they told you, then banish gutter trash to the dumpster that she crawled out of. Bye, bitch. That's my man. Okay? There's nothing to spiral about. Okay? You have to stay the path and you have to know what your shit is. And he went out with another girl. I don't fucking think so. Like, no, actually, he had the most miserable night of his life. He literally has the most miserable time ever, unless he's with me. That should be your conversations. And then banish gutter trash, because I literally teach you guys how to banish gutter trash daily on here. And I'd like to tell you, oh yeah, that's right, it works. I mean, we've had dozens of people banish gutter trash, and who cares? Don't view the other girl as an obstacle, though. You cannot view the other girl as an obstacle standing in between you and your SP. And the last thing you need to do also is view him as a womanizer, because you're right regardless. You're having inner conversations regardless. So this is where you discipline yourself and you have the right inner conversations, the ones that you want instead. Okay. I have had things attempt to trigger me for the past 2 days. Do you think I give two shits? No, I don't. Not at all. I just, leave stories like that. I just have fun with it. That's how you have to look at it. Like, try again next time, bitch. No. How do you handle conflicting, unfavorable thoughts? Ellen, you flip them. You wouldn't have conflicting or unfavorable thoughts if you would be thinking about what you want instead. Okay, this is where robotic affirming, it's thought distraction. Okay, so you cannot think two opposing thoughts at the same time. You can't. So because of that, you affirm. Okay, that distracts your thoughts. Now, if you're having unfavorable, like inner conversations, then that's when you focus and you control your inner conversations to be all about what it is that you want instead. And then the conflicting, unfavorable thoughts go away when you start to see movement in your 3D. But the only way you're going to see movement in your 3D is if you discipline your shit. Okay, so you just flip them. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay, flip them and control them. Control them. Casey, we walked in public after them not wanting to for months, but I woke up blocked and didn't waver. Okay. Somewhere you did. Okay, Casey, somewhere you did. Somewhere you may not have necessarily wavered, but you questioned something, right? Which is wavering. You questioned something, or somewhere in your mind, you thought against what you wanted instead of enjoying the time. Okay, enjoying the time. Because you don't have, it's absolutely impossible it makes no sense for you to go throughout your day, have an amazing time with your boyfriend, and then wake up the next day completely blocked. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. There was some kind of thought process that led up to that shit, which is why it happened. Okay? We need to drop that shit. So drop it now. Do you understand? And pick yourself up, because somewhere you're repeating old patterns. You're repeating old patterns, and you have to stop with the old patterns. When it comes up and you think this has happened before, or he used to do this, or this happened, that's a pattern. You have to break it. You have to break it, because there's only one reason why you're playing bumper fucking cars in your relationship, because you're not breaking patterns. So you're hitting a wall, going back, hitting a wall, going back, when it shouldn't be like that. It should be an escalation if you're doing what I'm saying to do, and not wavering, not questioning, not because that is forcing the 3D. If you're verbalizing certain shit to them, that's forcing the 3D. We can't do that. We can't do that. And so I will tell you again that when you're in a relationship, this is how I know somewhere you wavered, okay? Because when you're in a relationship with somebody, you do not wake up the next day. Like, I never wake up and I'm like, let me check their Instagram. For what? For what? It's not like you woke up and got a notification like, hey, bitch, you've been blocked. That's not how that worked. You only know you were blocked because you got up and checked, which meant that you were somewhere unsure. That's how I know. That's how I know there's nothing to check. What do you want to check? And I told you for the 15 millionth time, if you're going to check to affirm while checking. What part of this is unclear? What part of a lot of what I say is unclear? Huh? Liza Tita, how do you manifest multiple SPs? Well, would I be sending a girlfriend? Oh, I got to read your shit. I got to listen to your stuff. Okay. How do you manifest multiple SPs? It's really simple. Get clear on what you want in an SP. Okay. It depends on if you have certain ones in mind. Okay. If you have certain ones in mind, then leave blanketed. If you're having inner conversations or blanketed affirmations, then you just say he or she. Okay. Like, he is so obsessed with me. Well, whoever you have in mind will conform to that. Okay. Now, if you don't have SPs in mind and you want to just manifest multiple SPs, then you need to get clear on the qualities of your SP, what it is that you want in a relationship with your SP, in a perfect relationship. Because when you get clear, ooh, hello. What up, Just Nikki, girlfriend? When you get clear on it, then guess what happens? Then they conform. Then you start to see your SP. You start to meet the correct person for you. It's exactly what happened to me. I was tired of dating the guys that I dated in the past, and I decided I wanted something different. And I wanted literally the opposite of everyone I've ever dated in the past. So I got clear on that, and then boom, met my boyfriend. Had I seen him for a couple years prior? Yeah, he worked in the complex. And he had been in my unit several times. And I never noticed him until I got clear on the kind of person that I wanted, and then this entered the picture. And I saw him very differently. And the way our paths collided, would have never, ever done that in the past. Because I'm at the pool I used to be at the pool on the daily, like all the time for years. And I never once saw him at the pool until I decided what I wanted. Then all of a sudden he showed up at the pool. Jackie, I'm still working on not spiraling when it comes to my SP, still with gutter trash, and getting better at it. Well, that's good, Jackie. That's good. Now, here's the thing. Okay, if any of you are fucking dealing with gutter trash, listen up. There's a reason we call them gutter trash, okay? They're not an obstacle in your relationship. They're not. You cannot view them as a reason. I'm not saying don't affirm them away. That's not what I'm saying. But you cannot view them you cannot view your situation as, I cannot be with my SP fully in a relationship if gutter trash is there. You can't do that. You can't view gutter trash as being a problem in your relationship at all. At all. Like a non-fucking factor. Completely irrelevant in my life. She can go fuck herself. That type of attitude. Like, no, that's my man, and nothing is going to stand in the way of that. No one, nothing will stand in the way of me and my SP, period. That's how you have to look at it. And when you look at it that way and then affirm against them, they go away. But you keep them there and they're not going newsflash, they're not going anywhere if you are viewing them as a problem. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because you'll know when you're no longer viewing them as a problem, because you wouldn't spiral when it comes to them at all. Literally, gutter trash should be able to stand in front of your face and you'd be like, yeah, okay. That's how you should be able to look at gutter trash. Not as a obstacle or an option in any sense of that fucking word. That's how you'll know. Is if you can imagine gutter trash standing right in front of your face and you being like, yeah, nah. That's how you know. Get on it, Jackie, and everyone else. Get on it. Where you would not even react if that bitch was right here. That's how you know. And then then when you affirm against her, she will kindly see her ass out. Clarissa, yes, please get to the admin team. Also, shoot your shit to the top. Because if you don't get a response from me same day, shoot it to the top. And if you want to be clever about it, Shoot it to the top after 4 p.m. Pacific time. What up, Terry? Because if you shoot your message to the top after 4 p.m. Pacific time, that's the last time I take a call. Okay, so then I'm wide open. Okay, so I'll answer. That's typically, you'll ask anybody, it's typically when they get a response from me because I'm on calls during the day. So then things get pushed down, which is why if you're in text, if you have text coaching, I want you all at the same place. It's a lot easier for me to run through them. Didn't have to cipher through the text. Then go over to WhatsApp, cipher through that shit too. Ayana. Yes. This man is liking your story every time. And every time you post, and currently working on that phone call. Yes. Well, we'll work on the phone call. Okay. He's contacting you, and just know that. Be like, man, this guy obviously can't get enough of my ass, because, you know, I watch a lot of stories. I think I only like 2 people's stories, literally. My bestie and her daughter. That's it. That's all she wrote. I don't like anybody. I'll watch a million of them, but I don't like stories. Like, it's just not my thing. I just scroll to the next. I didn't realize people get their panties in a bunch if you don't like their shit. To me, that's fucking weird. It's weird. A lot of people post that. If you're my friend and you don't like my stories, I was like, seriously? Are you that insecure about yourself that I have to like your story, or we're not friends? So the fact they like your story is going above and beyond. That's my whole point. And there's also a thought process that leads up to that, right? And then when they're done, there's a thought process that leads down that leads after that too. So you got this, girl. I'm proud of you, sister. Well, now I gotta fucking scroll all the way back up because that was just stupid. It's hot. It's so hot. Okay. Hopefully. Do I need to detach to manifest? No, doctor, you don't. You don't need to detach. The only thing you should detach from is the only thing you should ever be detaching from is going to be what's it called? Is the resistance to your SP or to them conforming. That's the only thing you need to detach from. Is just the resistance, and you do that by knowing how this ends. This ends with us together. There is no other ending. It's already been written in the stars. This is how it ends. So I know that a lot of you guys, I don't know why you can't do that shit. I don't know why you can't do that. How is that hard? For you just to know that you're going to be in a relationship. Just know that. Start there and detach from the outcome, because there's no reason to be detach from the resistance, because you wouldn't have resistance if you would get a grip. I'm sure you did, Casey, bitch. Come on now. I could read right through the fucking lines. Oh, yeah. You cussed them out. Okay. Well, I guess that explains what happened. So get a grip. Okay? Get a grip and regroup. And for the love of God, stop verbalizing. I love how that's harassment. Stop verbalizing. Okay? Stop verbalizing. Amber, have I manifested a specific person myself? I would be the biggest phony on the fucking internet if I had not. I'm currently in a relationship with my boyfriend, and I manifested him back from no contact to living with me in 4 weeks. So yes, I have, which is why I teach about it, because I posted about it, and I had a bunch of people ask what I did. I told them what I did, simplicity, and within a week came back and said, "Oh my God, it worked. Thank you so much." Then I was like, what other satisfaction is there than bring people back together? So, and since I did it myself, I would never come on here and teach about something I've never done. See, that's the problem in the manifestation community. There's a lot of people that teach about it and have never done it. So there's a difference between manifesting an SP back and manifesting an SP. they're totally different. Anyone can manifest somebody new. All of your boyfriends are manifestations if you think about it, logically speaking. So that's fucking stupid. But they haven't manifested one back. There's a difference. And then I don't teach you how to just manifest one back. I teach you how to keep them. You know, there's that difference too. And so I boiled it down. Guys, I wrote it down here because I'm going to make an 8-part video series for you guys. It's an 8-part video. Don't judge my handwriting. It's an 8-part video series on how to manifest your SP back. Yes. All right, Reg, I'm trying to look for your question. And I cannot find it. What are you asking? What the fuck are you asking? Reg, if you have a question, either post it again or just shoot me a message. Shoot me a texty, all right? And just put Reg in it. How you handle manifesting money? Is that what it is? Was that the question? Okay, well, let me get to Catherine first. Is it productive to put time frames on my manifestation? That depends. That's called manifesting on a time crunch. That depends on if you can stick to it, because I like manifesting on a time crunch because I'm impatient. However, there's a level of discipline involved. So if you want to put a time frame on something, that's great. You can put a time frame on something, but you cannot focus on the time. Okay? So you cannot count. It's not like you're going on vacation and you're counting down the days till you go on vacation. Okay? You can't do that. So instead, what up, Shanzy girlfriend? So if you want to put a time on it, you could put a time on it, but then you got to, Reg, pop into my DMs or contact Chanel and they'll put you on my calendar. Let's jump on a quick call. Okay. It shouldn't take long at all. I have somebody from no contact to in a whole committed relationship in a week and a half. She got contact same day that she hired me to manifest for her. And now they're in a whole relationship. So jump on a call with me. Okay. So back to you, Catherine. I manifested the last step of my manifestation on a time crunch. Okay. I declared the date, but I didn't worry about the date. I set it and forget it, basically. So that's what you have to do, because if you're going to manifest on a time crunch, but you're focused on the time and you get more nervous and panicked the closer the time gets, that's fucking up your manifestation. So you would have to just set the date and then not worry about it again. Don't think about the date again. Just keep going. Keep going. Keep going. It could be 1 minute until the freaking day. Doesn't matter. You have to keep going. Okay. When I manifested my last step on a time crunch, I declared the date and I fell asleep on the day of my manifestation. Was it here yet? No. But I did my part. I played my part and I went to bed. And I woke up at 12. I got woken up at 12:05 to my full manifestation being here. I was 5 minutes off because I didn't focus on the day. I didn't count down the day. I just acted like it was a whole nother fucking day and I kept going. So there's a discipline involved there. So you can 1,000%, but you have to discipline yourself. And then just keep going. Like, let's say the day comes and goes. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay? It doesn't matter. If the day comes and goes, are you going to be mad if it comes the next day? No. So you just keep going. Okay? Sage, I had a flat. Made an appointment for this morning. Of course you're a yesy. What? What the hell fuck did that go? Well, Jesus Christ. Okay, I made an appointment for this morning. Oh, snaps for Yessie. And Yessie, shoot that shit back to the top, bitch, okay? Thanks. Because I want an update. And now that you're back in contact, I'm going to move to the next step, and then we're going to maintain the contact, sis. Okay? All right. Made an appointment for this morning. It just needed a stent, no charge. Yay. Look at that. That's right. That's right. I don't even know what a fucking stent is, but this sounds amazing. You can manifest anything you want. Okay? I'll tell you what my 8 steps to manifesting your SP back are, but I won't go in extensive detail right now because I'm going to answer these questions before they fucking get... Oh, of course, Terry. Ooh, a FaceTime. I need to manifest a FaceTime. Although I don't like FaceTiming because I feel like I have to be at the right angle. I'm so proud of you. Snaps for Terry. Look at all these people getting movement and shit. Know what I'm saying? Nothing makes them any different than you. Nothing makes them any different than you. Okay? It's not like you have to have a certain forte. Okay, 8 steps to manifesting your SP back. I broke it down. Just simplistic, and I make videos on them. You must become the former version of yourself, the elevated former version of yourself, the one that, your SP fell in love with, okay? 2, you must select the perfect version of your SP, the one that you fell in love with. 3, you must put yourself on that pedestal, meaning that you must never see anybody above you in your own fucking house. You need to know you're the prize. Okay, you need to know who you are and that you're the prize and that there's nobody else. I mean, you might be able to put yourself on the pedestal. Could be the former version of yourself. Possibly. Do you like how I'm brainstorming with you guys? Okay, the next one is you need to have 3 types of inner conversations. Okay, all focused about what you want because inner conversations push out very, very fast because it goes directly to your subconscious mind. It's something you're saying naturally, which is why things manifest quickly through inner conversations. We have been testing this with our members, okay? And since they've been focusing, I'm not saying they're not affirming, but since they've been focusing on inner conversations on top of affirming, their manifestations are speeding up, okay? The second one is affirming in steps. You need to affirm in steps. Don't live in the fucking end. You need to live in the end of the first step. The next one is know how this relationship ends. Know how this ends. Relationship with SP, period. And then this is the most important one that you guys seem to forget and seem to lack self-control over. And that is stop reacting. Stop reacting. Stop forcing the 3D. Stop questioning or checking every fucking thing. I'll be going into detail about that. And then to break the patterns. Break the patterns. You need to break the patterns that caused your breakup in the first place. That caused your decline in your relationship in the fucking first place. We need to break those patterns so that they don't come up and your relationship soars. Okay? And then I'll also be including my story. If you want to know my story, if you're new here, all you got to do is head over to the tube of the U, scroll right past the videos, my live replays, scroll right past those. It's like a 25 to 35 minute video, something along the lines of that. And it says how I manifested my SP back. That's what it's called. Okay. Then you'll see my story, which is why I have zero sympathy for anyone when they want to sit there and talk about the circumstances, because I had all the circumstances. So being a newbie, if you will, because it's not like I'm a pro at manifesting SPs back. That's fucking stupid. I've done it once. Okay. And I'm still in a relationship with him. So there's that part. And we're doing great. We have like the most amazing relationship. And so, I was going somewhere with that shit. Oh, well, I don't remember where I was going with that. But anyway. Oh, yeah. So I teach you from personal experience. Okay. That's what I teach you. And it works because I've done it for numerous people. I've helped numerous people when nothing before worked for them. Because what happens in the manifestation community is you're overcomplicating shit. You're consuming way too much content. You're listening to way too many creators and you're just stuck like technique after technique. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this. It's way overcomplicated. It's not that complicated. So stop listening to techniques. Okay. Yeah. I'm sure, Liz, we need to, I teach you what to do on your end, Dr. Xtina. It's not hard to do. It's not hard to do. At all. Okay. They're good, girl. You are seeing all the signs to your manifestation. That's right, Laura, because they on their way, sis. They are on their way. Profile then this morning said, I'll see a red Ford pickup 6 miles, red Ford pickup. I know, you're good at that shit, Fleshy. Damn. Oh, really, Shanzi? Look at all this. Snaps for fucking everybody. Snaps for Shanzi. He's coming to spend the weekend with her. See, if you've been here a while, okay? If you've been here a while, you have to understand that we're all family here, okay? We all get to know each other here. Because it's hello, pay attention. We're fucking besties. Yeah. So because of that, you start to follow people's journeys on here, right? So you have to see that a lot of them have a big turnaround when they were just on here a week ago bitching about bullshit. Then all of a sudden, they're going to spend the weekend with their SP. All of these things when they weren't saying the same shit a week ago. They weren't saying the same shit a week ago. You have to understand that, okay? It's not a long, drawn-out process. It is not something. Oh, Shanti, I love that for you. It's not a long, drawn-out process. What up, Age? Well, my fingers are going to be sore today, guys. I can already tell they're going to be so fucking sore today with just all the shit that's going on around here, but the good shit, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, snaps for fucking Erica. Pay attention. Pay attention while you get your panties in a fucking bunch, okay? Look, she manifested SP not wanting her to move out. Why the fuck would she be moving a goddamn place? Move out from where? I don't think so. I don't think so, bruh. And now, not moving out. So now, Erica, we're going to push this forward, okay? We're going to push this forward. And we're going to remember, no forcing 3D. No need to question shit. No need to do any of that. It's called enjoy relationship. Enjoy your relationship. Know how they feel about you and enjoy it. Because when you do that, one, it's far less stressful. That's so fucking rude. I got distracted because YouTube was telling me that my identity has been verified. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Yes, Terry, when she first came here, was a hot ass mess, and she knows it. She's like a lot of you guys when she first came around, right? And she was a mess. But you know what? She fought back. I think like a whole hour and a half of my life one day was talking to Terry. But then she got a grip. She started doing it. And look. Yes, when her entire reality showed the complete opposite. Congrats, user 176. If you guys have any names like user in the beginning, just so you know, we do vet you because we've had problems in the past and it seems to stem from user. But congrats, user 176. I'm so excited for you. Yes. Sonia, do I book you for a manifest for me or would you suggest another option? Please. It depends on your situation. Okay, it depends on your situation. I'm not going to tell you one way or the other. Okay, I don't think you can either have me manifest for you, but you still have your part to play. It's not a big deal. I can do that. Not a big deal. Okay, we still jump on a call and I tell you how to play your part. Okay, and then we recreate your SP on the spot together. Same thing as a coaching call, but you have me in your back pocket. And I have no resistance to your SP because I don't even know them. Right? I don't even know your SPs. So I certainly don't feel any types of way about them. like any negative type of way about them. I don't feel that way. You know what I'm saying? So typically they tend to conform quickly. If they don't, we jump on a quick call and figure out if something's going wrong. We dig a little deeper, and then if there's an underlying issue, then we fix that issue and move forward. User 324, what is the difference between being delusional, detached, and putting in action? Dating sites. What the fuck does that mean? Oh, you want to like go on dating sites? There's nothing wrong with going on dating sites, okay? If you're going to take action, action has to be aligned to action. You can't just take action. That's called force in the 3D. It has to be in alignment with your thought process and where you're at and what you know, okay? Then you can take action. So like if you wanted to, being delusional, let's start from the first one. Okay, what's the difference between being delusional and detached? Okay, being delusional is, that's been distorted over time too, which is why I try to get you guys less on the delusional bandwagon and more on the remember what the fuck they said out of their mouth bandwagon, because then it's not delusional, they said it themselves. You know what I mean? And so being delusional, though, what they mean is acting as if, right? Living in the end, in a sense. But seeing yourself, knowing that you and your SP are getting back together. That would be delusional. Okay? Or affirming. Like if you're affirming is one step of delusion, if you will. Because if you're affirming for what you want, you're not necessarily, your 3D is not necessarily reflecting that. So I guess you consider that a level of delusion. Okay? And then detached and putting in action. I already talked about putting in action. Detaching, the only thing you should be detaching from is the resistance you have to your SP. Yes, see? See what I'm saying? Okay? So that's the only thing you should be detaching from. Most people will be like, just detach, let it go. I'm not letting go of something I want. That fucking sounds stupid. That sounds stupid. You know what I'm saying? But you detach from the resistance to it, and you do that by knowing that it's going to happen. If I keep doing this, it's going to happen. There is no other way. You know what I mean? Wait, yeah, see, I'm telling you guys, it's okay to leverage negative emotions. You can find the leverage in everything, right? Harriesi says it took her yelling at his picture. Get angry with him. Get angry with him. Like, who the hell do you think you are not talking to me? Who do you think you are not coming to see me, not wanting to be with me? Who the fuck do you think you are? I don't think so. No. You'll do what I say and you'll do it when I say it. That attitude. And get angry with him. Get impatient. What's it going to hurt? Fuck patience. Who the hell says you should have... What up, Brandy? Who the hell says that you should have patience? Patience is overrated. Mima, if you want, we can jump on a quick call and discuss what's going on, okay? How can I make my SP only desire me during sexy time? He wants to have transgender involved too. Oh. Okay. How can you... I'm sorry, I tried to contain it because it just took a whole left turn in the sentence. Okay. So the way you would do sorry. I had a flashback to one of my friends, okay? But anyway, the way you would do this is by seeing him as only being loyal, faithful, committed to you. He literally, you're the only one that your SP desires. Like, have a whole conversation within yourself about it, or you can affirm that. Like, no one compares to me. I'm the only one he desires. Literally, they can't get it up for anyone but me. Assuming it's a man. If it's not a man, then we'll say that you're the only one that turns them on. Okay? Thanks, Chris. You're the only one that turns them on. That they literally don't desire to have sex with anyone but you. Right? All of that stuff, and just toot your own horn. Thanks, Reg. Okay, you need to start tooting your own horn about that and seeing yourself as the only one they desire. Like, no, they don't actually want to have sex with anyone but me. Like, yeah, I'm the only one that just does it. That just does it for them. You know, I'm the only one that turns them on. Okay, and see him as that person that's loyal, faithful, and committed to you, that's obsessed with you and only you, that only wants you. Okay, because if you think about it this way, if you're in a relationship with him, right, or situation, whatever ship you're in with this person, you want them to be monogamous, right? So you need to see it that way and not see him as wanting to invite other people into the bedroom with you. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? And get what you want. Mm-hmm. Can you talk more about self-discipline during manifesting? Yes. Okay, so self-discipline during manifesting. Okay. Discipline your mind. Okay? It's just about disciplining your mind. It's about saying, okay, does what I want, do I want this thing bad enough? Because if I want this thing bad enough, then I'm going to do whatever it takes to get that thing. So if that means that I need to focus my thoughts and I need to discipline my mind to not go against what I want, then that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do it over and over and over again because I want this thing bad enough. So if I want this thing bad enough, I don't need to question a goddamn thing. There's nothing to question. There's nothing to do. I don't need to do none of that shit. Nope. I'm only going to see the version of my SP that I want, which is what drives me nuts about a lot of you. It's like, how is that hard? How is that hard? I don't want to date an asshole, so why the hell would I continue to look at him like an asshole? That's fucking makes zero sense. Okay? So it's like, I want what I want. I love this person. I want to be with this person. So I'm going to discipline myself. I'm going to try my hardest to only view the positive in this person. Because what the fuck is the alternative? To view this person as the opposite of what you want? How's that working out? How is that helping you? It's, oh yeah, that's right. It's not. Okay. You have to take the same level of discipline that you have in other areas of your life and apply it to SP. There's no difference. Okay. You need to because your entire life operates off of patterns. So if you're lacking the discipline, the self-discipline when it comes to, you know what I mean? I love you, poor times. If you're lacking the self-discipline when it comes to your SP, thanks, baby sis. Welcome to the family. If you're lacking the self-discipline when it comes to your SP, most likely you're lacking self-discipline in other areas of your life too. That's how this works. So instead, you need to start creating self-discipline in your life, and realizing that the things that I want, I'll do. Because for me, the things that I want, I will stop at nothing to get. There's not another option. I don't overthink shit. I really don't. I don't overthink. I do. That's it. I'm not like, well, I'm not ready yet. So let me think. Nope, I just do. I'm like, oh, okay. I reverse engineered and I was like, so I just have to say the opposite. Oh, fuck. I could have had him back a long ass time ago. You know what I mean? I could have had Christmas gifts and the whole fucking bit if I would have got my shit together. But I was like, okay, so I just have to do the opposite. Okay, I got this shit. Okay, I figured it out. And so I was like, just do it. You know, like the Nike saying. I was going to say the Michael Jackson song, but that's Just Beat It. But you got to just do it. Don't think about it. Just do it. Be like, okay, this works. Literally on my life here, you are seeing so much fucking proof that this works over and over and over again. So it's like, well then shit. Then I got to do it. That's it. I don't need to know anything else. I just got to do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Do it. And this is where I tell you, okay, so we'll talk about Yessie for a second. Okay, Yessie was back in contact with her SP. They went on a date and the whole bit. And then she questioned things verbally on her date that caused them to go back in no contact. But now they're back in contact because you can't fuck shit up unless you're just like, oh my God. And this wasn't a long time ago. What is like a week? It wasn't a long time ago. Okay. It was the same with Flashy. Okay. Same with Flashy. She reacted to the 3D. They went back in no contact and then all that changed a week later. Stop accepting, pick yourself up and persist forward. Do you understand? I was going to go this way, but I feel like that's backwards to you. So forward only. Forward march. Alrighty. Let's skip through all these things and get here. Me too, Catherine, girlfriend. All right. So others, you, for example, can manifest for me as well. I'm still new and I have no... Yes, Liz. Yes. You can manifest for anybody. For anybody. You can change your SP's entire story and change their life. Like, it's because you have to understand, even though if this is your reality, they're in your reality. Okay. Realities blend. There's this like, and it's not like they don't know, but it's like, they just don't explain it. No one explains the shit. Okay. Where they're like, everyone has their own reality. Okay. Sick. But when I'm sitting right next to my daughter, I mean, where does the reality will end? You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, she's in my reality. I'm also in her reality. Because realities blend together, okay? So because of that, you can change anyone's reality at all. I've changed numerous things when it came to my daughter and her reality. I've changed numerous things. And I've changed my brother's story. Like, my brother is great now. Great. Okay? When his mental health was on the steep decline real fucking fast. He didn't think he was going to be able to survive, pay his bills, anything. He's like, I'm going to be homeless, all this shit. And so when people would ask me about my brother, I'd be like, bitching like always. He, he's just whining and bitching about this, that, and the fucking third. And then I was like, ooh, what if I could change his reality? So when people started asking me again, how's your brother doing? I started telling a different story. And I said, inner conversation stories, right? Even if they're verbal, it's still a conversation. Think conversation, right? So even if you're telling somebody, that's a conversation. So I told them, I said, one thing I do know is that he's going to come out of this so much stronger, so much fucking stronger than ever before. Like, literally. And he's going to feel so empowered to know that he could do this himself, that he survived, that he's thriving in life, and he's doing this all on his own. Okay, he did not know how he was going to survive at all. So nothing financially changed for him at all. Okay, he still, to this day, he still has the same job. He still has the same job. Nothing's changed. But yet he went from living in a 1-bedroom apartment to a 2-bedroom apartment. So his son has his own bedroom. His son, he bought all new bedroom furniture for his son. He pays his own car bill now. He has Disneyland season passes, which those bitches are not fucking cheap. He has Disneyland season passes. He's there every fucking weekend. And when I tell you they eat, they eat. Okay. A lot of food. And so, he took his son on a 10-day Disney World vacation. Yes, we go to Disney World. Okay. Dev, I don't know what you're talking about, but I don't charge $300. Let's just get that under wraps there. There's no $300. Okay. But anyway, and now he just asked me if I could take him. What up, Steven? He just asked if I could take him to the airport and pick him up from the airport because he's flying to Vegas, which is like the best thing ever because it's a 45-minute fucking flight, to go attend his friend's wedding. Nothing in his finances have changed. But it's Manifest. What up? I'm answering you today. Hello, Shells. But so nothing changed. You know what I'm saying? Nothing changed at all. Except me telling a different story. And then his reality changed to match. So you can do that with anybody. We're starting to do that now with clients. We're starting to do that now with clients, okay? Where it's like $10 and we'll rewrite your entire SP story to change their life. Because remember, everything and if you work with me on a coaching call, we do it automatically, okay? But remember, everything in your life is based off of patterns and processes. So you'll also notice if you go down memory lane and look at all your past relationships, you'll also start to notice that there's a lot of trends in each relationship you've had, right? So your SP is no different. They also have patterns and processes in their own life. So they have patterns in relationship history. And oftentimes they will have told you certain things that they've had going on in their relationships in the past. They've talked about their relationships in the past with you. They've also maybe talked about their upbringing. That's very important because if they experienced certain things or witnessed certain things growing up as a child, that very much is playing on autopilot in their mind 24/7. It's just so automatic to them because they experienced it growing up as a child. Okay, so like before the age of 7, all of your core values, beliefs, and identities are stored in you by the age of 7, excuse me. Okay, so if they experience something like a lot of times you'll notice if you look at your SP's history, it will be like what they've told you is a lot of times they've experienced their parents' marriage not working out. Maybe there was infidelity from one of their parents, right? Different things, abandonment. Maybe they were abandoned as a child. They dealt with certain things as a child. So therefore, that's very much playing out in their life and in their relationships today. Thanks, Kimmy girlfriend. So because of that, we need to change that. Because if you don't change that, it pours out into your relationship again and again and again. And oftentimes we tend to justify their behavior based on what they have told you about their past. So, what did they say? Somebody's thinking about you if your nose fucking itches? How the fuck they know that? I don't know. But I think somebody must be thinking about me. That's why I say you guys should not get upset about some silly little petty things. Because I saw a fireman today. I was like, he's fucking hot. And then there was one time I was at the gas station and like 25 cops had to come. And I'm pretty convinced that the only people that they hire in my area, we don't have a police department, we have a sheriff's department. I'm pretty sure the only people they hire in the sheriff's department are fucking hot because they were on there. I'm getting in the car with my daughter. I'm like, damn, they're hot. My daughter's like, you have a boyfriend. I'm like, doesn't mean I can't find him hot. Doesn't mean I can't think they're hot. So y'all should relax. If somebody thinks somebody's high, who gives a fuck? Z Hooli. When we affirm, do we need to say the person's name? No, you do not. I'll tell you when if you do, okay? So no, you do not need to say their name. No one ever told me this either. I know, I was like, do you say him? Do you say specific person? You know what I mean? No, you just have to say he or she. He or she, okay? Now, the only reason you would say someone's name is if you're affirming and you notice that someone else is conforming and not your SP. You'll notice, okay? So if you notice that someone else in your life is doing the things that you're affirming for when it comes to your SP, then you would start to say their name. Therefore, they start to do the same things, okay? And if you're new here or you're not new here, I hope all of you are doing what I fucking said in your affirmations. Clarissa, send me a message. Let me check you out because if you're a client, no, I'll just put you in there. We'll see. We'll talk. Okay. So that's how that works. But every single one of you, one affirmation you should be saying is that your SP, say their name. That's when you're going to say their name, is the easiest for me to manifest. Bobby is the easiest for me to manifest. Like literally, Bobby is the easiest for me to manifest. You better fucking say that shit, because don't you want him to be the easiest for you to manifest? He instantly does whatever I affirm. Okay. When you manifest for others, do you have to do it like you would with your self-concept and SP? The 5-minute loop. No. No, typically not. I mean, you can. Thank you, Clarissa. I got it. So if you can, I mean, you can, but again, affirming is to distract your thoughts. It's all it is thought distractions. That's why we affirm, to distract our thoughts throughout the day. Okay, it's mindless affirming. Okay, and then inner conversations are where you're focusing on conversations. So I tell you guys to do the 5x5 just to discipline yourself and create some kind of routine. Okay, but we'd have to talk, but it depends on yourself. So if you're lacking the discipline in your mind, okay, and you're thinking against what you want often, then yes, you need to discipline your mind. Okay, and focus on what it is that you want instead of what you don't want. And a lot of you guys like to tell the old story. So on a lot of my calls now, it takes a little bit of time. But in a lot of my calls now, what I'm doing is having you talk about different things that you want. It's like hard to explain. Like different things that you want, or I'll say something and say, how would you say that? And then they'll say it, or I'll say something, but it's with purpose. It's with an intention, because all of a sudden I'll say something and it'll push out in your reality. Okay. Or you'll randomly say something to me on my calls and it'll push out into your reality too. Positive shit, because that's how I control my calls, right? So oftentimes that stuff pushes out because you said it on my call, then you forgot it. You never said it again, right? And then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, it worked. And that's the power. Okay, I'm not going to go backwards because then I get distracted. And then I don't know where the fuck I left off. Nope, it is not normal, to see no movement in 2 months. No, that is not normal. Okay, okay. Oh my God. Hell yeah, Brandy. Hell yeah. I took it as a sign that I want to go to Vegas too. Okay, hold on. What? Yeah, look, okay. You guys get so like okay, so you guys get so into the need to check. But I can't, how many fucking times, honestly, how many times I have to tell you, you don't ever have to check for movement? Okay? Because there's always movement. There's always movement. Always. Always, always, always. So you're sitting there saying there's no movement, there's no movement, there's no movement, because you're not seeing it in your 3D yet. Okay. Okay. I didn't see movement in my 3D for 7 months. So So when we came back in contact, I keep telling you guys, you have no idea what's going on behind closed doors. So your job is not to question anything. Okay. I didn't see actual movement for 7 months. However, it wasn't until we were back in contact where I realized, where I was confirmed, it was confirmed to me, if you will, that there was movement going on the entire time behind the scenes. I just couldn't see it. And unless you're a bona fide literal stalker and have nanny cams all in their house and a tracer on their fucking car and all that shit, how do you know? You have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. So your job is not to question a goddamn thing. Never a thing. Because there's always movement. There is behind the scenes movement that is involved before it pushes into your reality. Okay? Before pushing your reality, there's always behind the scenes movement that's involved. Because they're thinking about you often. Well, are you going to see that movement because they're thinking about you? No. No, you're not. Okay. Like, if you have gutter trash and you're affirming that you know, hey, hates and all they do is argue, are you going to see that movement? No, because unless they're fucking 5, they're not going to bring it to TikTok or Instagram or any social media. So you're not seeing that movement either. All right. If you're affirming, like, there's all types of things. If they're obsessed with you, are you going to see that movement? No, not yet. Okay. But if you'll persist forward and stop focusing on the fact that you don't see movement and just do it, you'll see the movement. And you will get confirmation there was movement the entire time behind the scenes. You just couldn't see it. Okay, you couldn't see it. Everything, so because you already have certain assumptions, and that's what you have to remember, is when you already have certain assumptions, even the ones you're not aware of, they're still playing out behind the fucking scenes. Still playing out behind the scenes. That you need to know. You need to know that. Because they're already your assumption. And your assumptions always manifest. You just can't see it yet. So if you have the assumption and you know that your SP loves you, well, that's not changing. That hasn't changed. They think about you all the time. They're looking at your pictures all the time. Well, you can't see that, can you? So you just need to do. And you'll get all the confirmation you need, and then you'll beat yourself up because you spent all this fucking time worrying. For what? You know the ones who get movement very fast? This is why I tell you guys to stop checking. I don't know. Thanks, Shiloh. Welcome to the family. Okay, I'm not going to lie. My entire audience knows that I just found out about the O method like a week and a half ago, and that should have me dying. When I was like, what the fuck is the O method? And when they told me, man, I think I spent like 5 or 10 minutes on here, like just cracking up. That should have me dying. But according to people on here, they said it does work. So it depends. Do you want it to work? I mean, the way I look at it is this. If you want it to work, I mean, one, it will work, okay? Because it works based on your assumption if you think it will work. And 2, at least you'll feel better. I mean, you have to look at it this way. Someone told me, well, I'm doing it anyway, so I mean, I may as well do the old method. Why not? Why not? Damn, I said I was going to look into that. It does if you do it properly. A friend told you. Hey, you know what? I forgot I was going to look it up, and I'm going to look it up. I'll give it a try. You know what? I'll test it out, and I'll let you know. I'll let you know. I hope my boyfriend doesn't get offended. Oh, man. Oh, well. I'm having to test it out on something that like would be for me blatantly obvious that it works, right? I have to look into it and figure out what would I test it on to see if it works. But I believe anything that I do now works. Everything you do works. Everything you do works. You set the rules. You set the rules. Okay, Jenna, bitch, when we talk next, think about his childhood now, okay? Jenna, by the way, Jenna has like the best fucking personality in the world. Okay. Good Lord. Okay. Honestly, not a lot anymore. It all reminds me of him, so I can't do much. Well, no, it's not. Things are not wrong about that. Okay, if you think about if you do things and things cause you to think about your people, it's not a bad thing. But don't hoard yourself in your home like me. But the only reason I did that is because I was doing law of attraction. I was too busy for like 8 hours a day doing law of attraction. And I'm just a homebody in general. Let's be honest. I'm just a homebody. I find great satisfaction in being home, which is why I like to have a nicer home, like things that are cleaner in the home. I keep a very clean home. I didn't say I keep a dust-free home. I keep a tidy home. There we go. Because I spend a lot of time here. But now my daughter wants to go to the gym. I'm going to teach her how to work out in her mind. I'm going to do that. I'm going to start working out in my mind. What about losing a parent as a child and being raised by their grandparents, but they were normal? So it's not for that court. It would be less about the fact that they had a normal childhood with their grandparents, but more centered around the fact of the loss of a parent. Okay, if that affects them today, I don't know, but you would know based on patterns, based on things that they've said, if them having a loss of a parent is impacting them, because a lot of people losing a parent, even though they had a great childhood, it still stings, right? It's kind of like a child being put up for adoption when they're little and having a great childhood, but still wanting to know who their biological parents are. You know what I'm saying? It's the same analogy, because even though they had a great childhood, they still have that part that was missing, that they didn't get to experience, you know? Because kids have no filter. So like we'll use my daughter and her bestie as an example. Is when they were little in elementary school, they met in kindergarten. But they met, and ironically enough, my brother was friends with my bestie's husband. And he passed away when his daughter was 3 to brain cancer. And our kids, you know how you take the first day of school pics? Yeah, when we did that. And my brother's like, dude, my friend's daughter is in your daughter's class. He never told me who the daughter was. And then we figured it out. But they had already become closer than ever. I mean, they had an amazing friendship. Their name is literally Michaela and Kayla. Okay? So, but they grew up without dads, right? Michaela lost her dad due to brain cancer. My daughter's dad just has never been in the picture. Okay, so that was something they had in common, which is why they bonded. However, students at the school are not so nice about it, because they have certain things like Donuts with Dad's Day, right? Things like that. And so people be like, well, I have a dad. Okay, motherfucker. Obviously, it's not their choice, bitch. That's where I said, you have to breathe a lot because I will snatch a whole ass 4-year-old up. Like, who the fuck are you talking to like that? When it comes to my daughter. A couple times in elementary school, I said, you better go tell the parents. I would message the teacher and said, you better have a talk with the parents or you can tell them to meet me in the parking lot after school. It's just my personality. So, but it's the same thing. So it impacts because other kids may have said something, right? And so because that, or just the losing a parent implies the other parent wasn't in the picture. Okay, so that could very much be impacting today. Organically Zen skincare, it is a sign. I did see a fireman. I saw one today. He was looking at me. I was like, ooh. Then I went back inside. Because I love to look at firemen, but I'll take my boyfriend over any day of the week. You can look, but you just don't touch. Oh, your SP is dressing up like a fireman today. Oh. Wait, hold on a minute. So what kind of role playing do you guys do, huh? If he's playing dress up as a fireman. All right, Daniel. She blocked me on everything, but I am losing hope. She's A-type person. When she blocks, she doesn't back. Okay. Couple things wrong with that shit. Okay. First of all, who cares if you're blocked on everything? Who gives a shit? Like, honestly, who cares if you're blocked on everything? It doesn't matter. Who cares? Okay. If you're blocked on something, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter if you're blocked on anything. She can still contact you and want to be with you. Okay. But here's the thing. But identifying her as the type of person when she blocks, she doesn't go back, that means she can't do that by you assuming that she's that type of person. And I know you're assuming she's that type of person, one, based on something she may have said, or two, you may have seen this before from her. And so because of that, you're equating the two, or you're listening to what the fuck she says. She's the type of person that doesn't do this. So I was always we'll use me as an example. I'm not a big blocker. I don't block people unless I have a really good reason to. But I've always been the person that, I've openly said this my entire life, is that if the relationship is over, you better make sure it's over, because I never go backwards. Like, I never go backwards. I always said that. And so every single relationship, I never went back. Usually I was the one that ended the relationships, like all of them except for one. And two, clearly. But my first one, I was engaged at, I don't know, fucking 18, some shit like that. I think I was like, I don't know. Anyway, it's like 18. Yeah, I was 18. I was engaged, and this is back in the days when, you had the Nokia cell phone. You had one, bitch. The Nokia phone. And with the light up freaking antenna. The light up antenna. The whole light up case, so everybody just knew where the fuck you were. And he had seen a letter that someone had written to me from prison in my car. He read the first line. He read the first sentence of this letter, where it said something like, I still owe you a trip to the movies. It said some shit like that. And he was like, it's over. And I was like, for what? He's like, the letter. I said, you better make sure that that's the case, because you better make sure that's for good and that's your final decision, because I don't go back. He's like, yes, it is. By the way, you can keep this letter. I said, no, actually, I would love for you to keep that letter. I said, and while you're at it, go ahead and read the rest. I gave him back his ring and I drove off. Because I read the letter. I know how this letter ended. He only owed me a trip to the movies because we all went as friends to the movies. He didn't have money for a ticket, so I bought his fucking ticket. That's why he owed me a trip to the movies. And the bottom was like, dude, thank you so much for being such an amazing friend. So he read the letter and he called me, and this is back in the days when they would play like love songs on your fucking voicemails and shit. And he would call me, wanted to get back together. I said, what part of I don't go backwards didn't you understand? And I never took him back. I've lived my entire life like that, but now here I am. I took when my SP broke up with me, I was like, oh fuck no, I'm about to go all the way back right now. Now that I think about it, he should feel flattered by that. So I manifested him back. So I broke my habits. I broke my policy, if you will. He's the only one I've ever gone back together with in my entire life. Only one. So who gives a fuck if she's the type, if she said she doesn't go backwards? Yeah, maybe not for anybody else but me, bitch. But me. You'll be unblocking me, thank you very much. And you'll be talking to me. Why? Because you're in control. You're in control. You can get her to unblock you today. You can get her to contact you today. You can get her to do all that shit today. If you want. But the only way you're going to do that is by not listening to her and not identifying her as the person who doesn't want, who wouldn't do the things you want them to do. Okay. If you're going to do the things that you want, that you don't want them, if you're going to identify her as less than perfect girlfriend for you, then she's not going to do perfect girlfriend things. Okay. She's not. So you can get her to do whatever you want. It's not her choice. I mean, she thinks it is because it's her idea, but you're just helping her clarify her idea. It's done all the time here. Is you guys are so worried about the fucking block feature. I told you a million times that I have a client who was blocked, and in 48 hours, her SP showed up at her home, and she was still blocked. So, didn't matter. It didn't matter. Would you rather be unblocked and have her never talk to you ever again in your life? Or would you rather her talk to you and who cares about the unblocked? Because unblocking you comes naturally if you're back in contact. See, that's where I think a lot of you guys waste fucking time. I said it. You guys waste time. You waste time on the mundane bullshit. Oh, yes, I'd rather spend way too much time focused on getting unblocked. You got me fucked up. I could care less about that blocked feature in any sense of that word. I'm going to go get what I want, and it isn't to be unblocked. It's to be with my SP. You know what I mean? That's what I would focus my efforts on. Oh, yeah, Tailfeather. There's a couple people that's happening to. And if you find that happening, you take the SD card out of X-Hubby and you pop that shit into SP. And then say SP's name while you're at it. Well, that's usually how it goes. I had an SP. I had an ex that I met when I was working at the gym. He was very nervous. To talk to my fine ass. You know what I'm saying? And he was the one where I brought them, I brought my friends around. He went to the beach with my friends, and all my guy friends were like, dude, can you put your shirt on? They're like, you're making us look bad. Cause he had like supermodel body. And I used to work at the gym. It took him a while before he said anything to me. But instead, what you should do is you should I'm not saying initiate contact, but in your mind, be like, yeah, that man cannot stop staring at me. In fact, he's going to come up to me and get my fucking number. Yep, he's making contact. A lot of people are having fun with seeing other people conform to toot your own horn, right? To toot your own horn. Why not? Can a random person manifest for you? Yes. One woman commented that I need to, younger man, a fan appeared. Huh? What, Auntie? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about, but yes, a random person can manifest for you. Well, okay, it depends. Okay, so it depends. Can people manifest for you? Yes, they can. Can people manifest against you? Nope, not in your reality. Not in your reality. You win. Okay, so they can't manifest against you, if that makes sense. Not in your reality. Scared to talk to you. What I'm white the blonde are you talking about? Scared to talk to you because don't want to speak old story. Advice on how to handle that. To Shay until your SP comes back. Currently, it's until your SP comes back. Okay, but then I walk you through how to keep them. I don't mean comes back because they text you one time. Okay. So here's the thing. Whenever I talk to people, okay, first of all, get out of, it doesn't matter. I have to know your old story. I have to know backstory. Because I listen to the backstory and I pull out things that you're saying, right? I take a little mental inventory, okay, of the things that they're saying or the things that you're saying. Because I listen to language, okay? It's one of my superpowers is I read language because it's a study of the mind, okay? And so I need to know old story, but it's the way it's done, okay? Is then I also need to know what they said then I also need to know you'll never get on a call with me, or typically now, at least now, where I say, what did they say at the time of breakup? Because I need to know what they said to you. Because then I know what the problem is based on what they said during the time of breakup. So then after that, now we recreate your SP by again going back into old story. However, it's all focused on the positive. So whatever you just said to me in old story, it's overwritten, if you will. No job is no harm, no foul. Nothing goes backwards because you said old story. Like it doesn't go backwards because it's the way it's structured. Okay, so now you're recalling all the amazing things, which just overrode you discussing old story. Okay. All right. Depends on what it is, Reg. For some reason, I'm not seeing some of your comments. Okay. Nadine, I'm sorry. I said there's always movement. I wasn't like, however, if you do this, that, and the third, no, that doesn't apply to you. No. There's always movement in the background, but if you're wavering and checking, there's still movement. You're just delaying it coming into the 3D. Why would you keep doing that? What the fuck are you wavering and checking for? How many different times you especially need to stop checking. You need to stop checking. I'm going to challenge you, Nadine, to go 72 hours where you do not check their profile. Do not check the profile. Do you understand? 72 hours, especially for you. All of you should take this challenge. Do not check the 3D. Yep, that's what today is. Today is do not check the 3D Wednesday, Thursday. I don't know what day it is. Today is do not check the 3D Thursday. Do you understand? There will be no checking of anything today. Anything today. You will not check a goddamn thing. And you will not question anything. No questioning and no checking Thursday. That's what this is. Do you understand? No checking. Okay? That's what that is. Because you guys got to start disciplining yourselves. And you're not going to question a goddamn thing today. We're not questioning anything other than like, oh my God, isn't it amazing how we fucking talk all day long? Like, oh my God. You're not questioning anything today. What are they doing tonight? What are they thinking about? Are they with gutter truck? No. No. You're going to focus. You're going to focus. NECA. Yes, I do manifesting for you. My link is in said bio. Organically Sense Skincare. My SP was on a live. I said, say my name, say my name. He said Heidi instead of hiding. Oh, man. All right. Oh, there you go. 111. It's a sign. What up, Dade? I feel like I get more energy the closer it gets to the fucking weekend. Yeah. All right. Excuse me. That's right, Terry. I saw somebody. I have a client who woke up. She had a bunch of pimples on her face. She had like a breakout on her face. And she went to bed. And before she went to bed, she looked in the mirror. She goes, my skin is totally clear. Woke up the next day, completely clear skin. You know, y'all just tend to overcomplicate it. Oh, what's the O? Organically Zen Skincare? Let's just say that the O method is, they have to call it the O method because if not, it will trigger all the fucking censors on social media. Just think sexy time without a man. At the height of the sexy time without a man. Did you figure it out yet? Did you? Did you figure it out yet? I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna try it out. But I can't tell anybody. I can't tell my boyfriend. Right? Can I tell him? Maybe I will. Oh, Dade, you're annoyed with SP and his actions. Desire more and don't feel like I'm having to express that to him. Dade, you don't need... Oh, see? Shiloh says it works. Oh, Chris has had some success too. See what I'm saying? I mean, I feel like it this way. At the end of the day, I mean, you're definitely feeling relieved. Oh, man. Okay, desire more and don't feel like having to express it to him. Like, here's the thing, Dade. That is... Okay, you have to look at it like the O. Okay. Okay, so I have a client, and the first thing she said was, she said it's just so much more freeing in a relationship to not verbalize and internalize, right? Because the thing is, when you verbalize, it's a command, and the more you verbalize, they don't do the shit anyway. So what the fuck is the point? What's the point? You know, you could tell somebody over and over and over again to do something, and then they don't do it. It's kind of like telling your kids to pick up their fucking toys off the floor and they don't do it, right? and so forth, which, by the way, that's the worst programming for parents of children to walk around unless they cannot walk yet. The minute their ass can walk, you should be making them get up and teaching them how to, clean up after themselves instead of walking around like a fucking maid and a nanny. Okay, parenting tip. But when you and they still don't do it, okay? They still don't do it. You task them 10, 15 different times. Now you're frustrated because they're still not doing it. This is where people will say in conversations like, I don't even know why I bother fucking saying shit to you. You just don't listen. Though they heard what you said. They're not deaf. They heard what you said. They just didn't do it, right? Like, how many times do I have to ask you to do this? That's where that saying comes from too. Because they don't give a fuck, right? So nothing comes out of it. So what's the point? Instead, if you internalize, then now they do exactly what you wanted them to do, and you get to save your breath. And they're actually doing what you want. That was the most freeing part of it for people, is that they were like, you mean I don't have to say shit? No, you don't have to say shit. Tracy, am I better off to say one affirmation, or can I say a few at once? Like, he loves me. Is that what that is? Imagine them when, oh, okay. Okay, he loves me is not good enough. If you're ever going to say an affirmation that involves love, it's not good enough. It has to contain action. It has to be backed by action. Okay. So he's so in love with me. He wants to live with me. Okay. He's so in love with me. He wants to marry me. He's so in love with me. He shows me he loves me every single day. It has to be backed with an action, because you can love someone and not want to be with them. A lot of people say that when they're getting broken up with. The SP's like, I love you, but. Okay. And most people that I talk to will say, I know he loves me. Yeah, but they're not together. See what I'm saying? So that's not strong enough. Okay. When I was affirming, I would affirm, was it 5 affirmations in a row, but they would be they went in a sequential order. Okay. So it would be like, he's so obsessed with me. I'm all he ever thinks about, leading to contact. He's always calling and texting me, contact. He's constantly spending time with me, progression of relationship. He'll do anything to be with me right now, relationship. Okay. So it's the steps, because while you're working on contact, you're still creating the assumptions of spending time together, always talking together, and being in a relationship. Those are still assumptions that are going on over and over and over again. Okay. Yes, Auntie, the next live, I'm expecting everyone to report success. Success. I live for you guys to report success. And see, that's exactly what happens. Like what Terry said. She talked about an ex from 24 years ago. He called the next day. Yeah, that's how this works. And I don't think she was thinking about it all day long. No. Like, you can literally randomly talk about something and have it appear. Test it out. Test it out. Randomly talk about somebody from your past that you haven't talked to in a little while. See if they contact you. Thought transmission goes across the board. Okay, it doesn't go one direction. It's like, you know what? You can transfer thoughts to your SP, but everybody else, nah. That's not how that works. That's right, Jackie. She's turning toxic. Now rev it up a notch. Rev it up a notch. I'm gonna have to look into this method. It sounds very complicated. I don't know how to explain this, but a lot of times I forget I'm manifesting. Is that okay? Reg, yes and no. Okay. Like, well, yes. I mean, it's okay to forget you're manifesting. However, You need to make sure that your thoughts are under control, though, because they're still manifesting, right? Even though you forget that you're manifesting, you don't need to focus on the fact that you're manifesting, right? But you need to make sure that your thoughts are good, because you're always manifesting. You're not walking around saying, I'm always manifesting. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you want to make sure that your thoughts are under control, because it's still going to manifest regardless if you are remembering you're manifesting or not. So make sure that those thoughts are being disciplined. Okay, are being disciplined. But we'll talk. My SP called me today. He became very polite when I do him a favor, still better than blaming me. Yes. And he doesn't blame me. Why would he blame you for shit? Okay. So much of this stems from how you're seeing your SP. Do you understand? So much of this is, Haley's a butterfly, is how you're seeing your SP. Okay? You guys would not be dealing with a lot of this shit if you would get a grip and start seeing your SP as the version of your SP that you want them to, be for you. Because if you would see, I know you're not, okay? Because a lot of times you guys are bitching about him. And you can't do that. You can't do that. What part of this is unclear? Sonia, did you do that today? Because if you did that today, I'll just return one. What up, Deriz? I don't have SP on Facebook, but I don't care. I don't either. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Who the hell cares? You know what I mean? Who cares? Yes, you can manifest a celebrity as an SP. Celebrities are just regular ass people. It requires a whole lot more discipline, though. Okay? It requires a whole lot more discipline if you're going to consciously create, if you're going to manifest your SP. It takes a lot more discipline because you have to see them as completely normal, not a celebrity. You cannot view them as better than you. You have to put you still have the strategies are all still the same. You still have to see yourself on that pedestal, and they're not above you in your own damn house. I don't care how many fucking Grammys they've earned. So what? You know what I'm saying? You can't see them as better than you. And you can manifest that. Because nothing but celebrities crave nothing but normalcy in their life. You provide them with normalcy. You treat them like normal people. They love that shit because nobody else does that. No one else does that. Okay? Lindsay, it's kind of like when you make a video, they always pick the stupidest frame, the stupidest face to be like, and that's the thumbnail. And I'm like, seriously? Bliss, funny story. Have I ever manifested a vacation? I saw your stuff, Debriz. We'll talk. Have I ever manifested a vacation? No. But I have manifested not going on my vacation. I know it seems backwards to some, but I manifested not going on my vacation. And the reason I manifest not going on my vacation is because I had just met my boyfriend. Okay. I had just met my boyfriend. And so I was just like, I kept thinking to myself, like, I don't want to go on vacation. I don't want to be away from him for 10 days. Like, I don't want to go on vacation. Like, is that weird? And I would just say, like, random times, I don't want to go on vacation because I don't want to be away from him for 10 days. That's basically what I said. And I was boarding. First of all, a couple things happened leading up to us even getting on the plane. Like my daughter, attempting to bring a water bottle full of water. Like, she's traveled a million times with us. Saying you can't bring water through TSA. Well, she had a water bottle full of water, and then she did, and this is the first time it's ever happened to her. She didn't close the lid all the way. Well, it starts pouring in her backpack, which is where all her electronics are, by the way. And so now I have to carry her shit, and everything's wet, which makes it heavy, right? I had to carry all her stuff in my backpack and do all this stuff. Wasn't starting out right. Then we get ready to board the plane, and we're halfway into boarding the plane when the whole internet crash happened. The entire internet went down across the country. So we ended up sitting in the airport for like 15 hours. And you know what? I will tell you, that airline, was it Delta? They get 1 star. They don't even get 1 star. They get 0 stars. Because how are you going to have us in the middle of this airport when everything's fucking closed and not even give us water when you got a whole fucking cart on the plane full of beverages? You know what I mean? But the airport general store saw an opportunity and they stayed open for a couple hours. So we all went in there and got sandwiches just to find out we couldn't take the flight. And anyway, we tried to get several flights the next day, but the internet was still like not fully functioning. And we couldn't go. I ended up not going on my vacation just like I wanted. Now, of course, I would never tell my family that. I'm weird like that. I just manifest the opposite. It's cool. It's sick. Thanks, Howard. What do you mean? How long did it take for me to manifest what? Not going on vacation? Like literally as soon as it happened. The next day when we literally could not get a flight out at all. They were like, yeah, we have a connecting flight. I'm like, we paid extra for non-connecting for straight shooter, straight there. They were like, we have a connecting flight. And so we're like, okay, we'll take that ticket, whatever. And so we took that ticket. Then I get notification as we're getting ready to board this new flight. I get a notification that the connecting flight has been canceled. And I was like, we can't get on this fucking plane and get stuck in Texas. It was like Houston. I'm like, and they're like, the next flight out is like in 3 days. I'm like, what are we supposed to do in Houston for 3 fucking days? And so I was like, no, we can't get on a flight not knowing if we're ever going to get there. And I was like, I said, this isn't going to work. And I said, on top of that, hotels, when you have a reservation, you got 24 hours to check into that hotel or they give your room away. So now we're not even going to have a room either. I was like, this is such a nightmare. I was like, we're not going. I was like, this isn't working out. We just can't go. And then after that, and I came home, I was like, so, because then I was bitter because my brother was able to go the next day. And he was like, can you pick us up from the airport? No, fuck you. Get an Uber, bitch. But he was able to fly and have the vacation that we were supposed to be on. And it took a little while because I was like, did I manifest the internet crash? No, I did not. But I didn't want to go. And our flight was delayed an hour. If our flight would have taken off on time, it wouldn't have been affected by the internet crash. But because it was delayed, did I manifest that? Yes, I did. Remember, whatever has to happen to aid in your manifestation is going to happen. Even if that means the internet crashes and your flight's delayed. Well, because then the funny thing was, I was like, the fuck? I don't even have my house key. Because now we're getting home. We had to get an Uber. or my dad was picked us up. That's right. And he was bringing us home. And I was like, well, how in the fuck am I supposed to get into my home? Because I don't even have the house key. My boyfriend had the house key. And then my neighbor also has a house key because I like to make sure that I will never get locked out of my own home. And I was like, so I had to send her a message because she wakes up early to go to work. And I'm like, can you put my house key underneath your fucking doormat? I'm excited too, Catherine. And so there we are. There we are. We're always manifesting. Even, and this wasn't something I was obviously affirming, right? Who the hell walks around like, I don't want to go on vacation. I don't want to go on vacation. I don't want to go on vacation. I don't want to leave my boyfriend. I don't want to leave my boyfriend. No, I just had random little thoughts about it. Like, I don't want to go on vacation. I don't want to leave my boyfriend. Little things like that. So you have to understand that's how quickly it happens. Okay. That's how quickly it happens. We're always manifesting. That's why I'm convinced that affirmations are great because they keep your thoughts in check and it's mindless. It's something that you're not doing, but so are inner conversations. But I am 1000% convinced that your inner conversations, if you focus on your inner conversations, will push out and accelerate your manifestation much, much faster. Much faster. Okay. Because that's what's producing all the time anyway. Right? We have to think about this. You have to think logically speaking. If we have been manifesting our entire life on autopilot, how are we doing that? How did you manifest your breakup? How do we manifest everything in our life on autopilot when you weren't aware of it? You weren't affirming. You weren't robotically affirming. Okay, robotically affirming helps discipline your mind. It's just thought distraction. But you weren't doing that because you didn't even know what the fuck that was. You don't know what that was. And then you come across affirmations, right? But then they just give you a list of affirmations. They don't tell you what to do with them. So then you go in front of the mirror and you say each of your list of affirmations you got off fucking Pinterest like once, right? And you go about your day and nothing happens. Because you weren't doing any of that shit, right? You're not walking around like, I'm so fucking ugly. I'm so fat. 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 You weren't doing that, were you? No. But what you were doing is every time you looked in the mirror, hopped on that scale, it was like, ugh. God, like, my stomach is big. Like, God, look at my fucking arms. Like, ugh, I need to lose weight. You know what I'm saying? That's a conversation you were having within yourself. Your entire life, everything you've manifested has been off of nothing but inner conversations. If you want to speak logically, speaking. So because these are the same people telling you need to do certain things, but they're in the same breath, they're like, your entire life is a manifestation. Okay, sick. Well, I didn't do any of that shit if my entire life this is where you bring logic and ask yourself, does this make sense? If my entire life is a manifestation, because that's what they all tell you too, which is true, then how did I get what I have? Did I have to do any of that shit? No, you didn't. You didn't walk around, like I said before, like, he's going to break up with me, he's going to break up with me, he's going to break up with me, he's going to break up with me. You didn't do that. But instead, what you did is in your mind have inner conversations like, I don't know if we're good anymore. He's completely different. Like, things have changed. And it's just like he just seems off, like distant lately. And, this, that, and the fucking third. Or you're talking to your bestie, right? Conversation again. And then boom, it produces. Because you just had an inner conversation. You know what I'm saying? You weren't affirming for all of that. So I still stand by affirming because it disciplines your mind. But what curates overnight, what curates instantly is not your affirmations per se. It is your inner conversations because you don't think about it again. And you're controlling them now. But it curates very quickly because it is a natural conversation that you are having as if it's true, as if you're talking to somebody, inner bestie, subconscious mind. It takes you at your word and pushes it out. Affirmations, for the 10,000th time, they call it robotic affirming for a reason because you have to repeat something enough consciously to get it into the subconscious. But it has to become an assumption. Okay? So you would need to start, you need to do all that boom, 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 boom. So that's where inner conversations, if you would focus mostly on inner conversations, you'd see a lot change very, very fast, because it is a conversation you're naturally having within yourself. Does that make sense? I've tested this. I've tested this so many times with so many different people, and they are literally like seeing movement. Okay. So like think about like Yessie, who got, is back in contact with her SP. She said, I got angry at his picture. And I'm sure she had a whole ass little chat with SP. See what I'm saying? When you have a chat with SP, then they're like, oh, they do, because you had a little chat. Like, I don't know what you think this shit is, but you know you want to talk to me. Like, you literally know that you want to fucking talk to me right now. You can't stand to be away from me, and every second you're away from me, you know you're completely miserable, so you're going to call me today. You know what our shit is. You know exactly how you feel about me. That's an inner conversation. But you can do it to their picture. Tell their ass what the fuck to do, which we're going to do in a second, okay? How do you change that when the 3D shows something different? The 3D, the social Shelly, is going to show something different until you create something different. And the only way you can create something different is through affirming and inner conversations. But recently we have done trial and error, and we're always testing. And so we've been testing this, and their manifestations are speeding up because they're affirming less. But, and I'm not saying you have to affirm less. Please don't do that if you can't control your thoughts, okay, throughout the day. But it's when they focus less on affirming and more on inner conversations, just random inner conversations about things. All of a sudden it's like, boom, produce. Somebody's changing. Oh, this is totally changed. Because because there's multiple things in a relationship, right? So like you have your relationship, but then there's people involved in both of your lives, right? He's got his family, you've got your family, different things like that. They've got friends, coworkers, all these other people. So sometimes there's people that don't necessarily support your relationship. But if you had an inner conversation, this is something that you only have to have once, because you really don't have any resistance and it's not really directly impacting your life at the current moment. You can literally have a total inner conversation like, no, my family fucking absolutely loves him. Like, my family loves our relationship and they adore him. They completely support our relationship. Yeah. They think he's just the best person for me, right? Just a natural, non-scripted inner conversation. Because it's natural, it's not scripted. And so then all of a sudden you move on and you have most inner conversations about you and your SP, but all of a sudden your family starts to support your relationship. Because you said you had an inner conversation one time about how they loved him and how they think you're perfect together, this, that, and the fucking third. And then you kept it pushing. This is why the negative stuff manifests very quickly, because you say you're angry in the heat of the moment. You say something one time and then boom, it manifested. I've done that numerous times before I knew what I was doing, right? And that's why, because the negative shit you don't think about again. You just say it once and then keep it pushing, and then boom, there it manifests. I have tried this numerous times with random things, and I have said it one time, every random blue moon, if you will. And sure enough, it literally manifested word for word verbatim what I had said. And then I threw something out there like 3 days ago, and it manifested within 24 hours. And it was just something I just randomly had an inner conversation about. Okay. So you change it when you stop focusing on the 3D and you realize that you can curate something different by disciplining your thoughts. You have to discipline your thoughts, because that's what's pushing out in your 3D. So I can give you an example, but I would need to know your, like, are you in contact or no contact with your SP? So if you were in no contact with your SP, what you would do is you would imagine as if you were in contact with your SP. Like, imagine if you were in contact with your SP right now and you guys were talking all day, every day, and like having the best conversations, like just normal conversations with you and your SP. Everything was going great. If Bestie would have called you up and been like, ding, 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 ding. Oh my God, Shelly, tell me all about you and SP. Like, how are you guys doing? What would you say? What would you say? That's your inner conversation. That's an inner conversation. As if it's true for you now, okay? This is where we leverage the mind and say, okay, I've been manifesting everything in my entire life, my breakup, everything based on inner conversations anyway. So since I know that, then I'm going to leverage the knowledge of that and know. And why does it push out quickly without robotically affirming it? Because an inner conversation goes directly into the subconscious mind, which is what produces into your reality. So how do we bypass the conscious mind and get into the subconscious mind? Through inner conversations, okay? And so because of that, you say, okay, so now I'm going to leverage that and I'm going to control my inner conversations. Therefore, it pushes out over and over and over again quickly, because the only reason you need the repetition is to get it into here. But if you could bypass the repetition and get it directly into here, well, that seems like the greater path to travel. Now, do I not affirm? No, that's not true. Yes, I do affirm. But mainly I love to have little inner conversations because I've seen it numerous times push out over and over and over again very, very fast. I have one client where that's a majority of what she's doing. Okay. We're working together. A majority of what she's doing, literally, I think probably, I'd say like, it might be 100%, but it's very close. She's just focusing on inner conversations. And she's getting like, she's not even on my live today because she's busy. She's on a trip with her SP. They're in a committed relationship right now. And we started working together a week and a half ago. And she was in no contact. That's how powerful inner conversations are. They produce quickly. Favored, of course. Whether it's out loud or in your mind, it doesn't matter. Because if you think about it, conversations that you have with the homegirl are they're verbalized, right? It still pushes out. What you think about, what you speak about, you bring about. So if you're having a conversation out loud, if that becomes more real for you, then yeah, it absolutely will push out. It's the same thing. How many times have you had a conversation with your fucking friend bitching about your SP and then that shit happens? and the social Shelly, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. We don't try around here, we do. All right. Hold your questions, guys. Thanks, best creator. Okay. Did you see recursive, bitch? All right. Now, hold your questions because we got to do the photo method and the cord cutting. We're going to do both of those now. Okay? Now. We're doing it right now. All right. So, I want you to get in a comfortable space, okay? If you're new here, cord cutting is very, very powerful because cord cutting is what allows you to get your shit, okay? So here it is. Basically, what's going on here when we do the cord cutting is we're cleansing the energy between you and your SP, okay? So therefore, your SP is going to think about you very soon. Okay, this is a fact, okay, because you're cutting the energy between you and SP. So they will think about you very quickly. And when they do, this time they will think about you differently. Because ever since you met your SP and anyone in your life, even if you don't talk to them anymore and you haven't talked to them in years, they're still connected to your energy. Okay, so by cutting the energy, you're not cutting this person out of your life because that would be like, I don't have a daughter anymore because I cut the energy with her every freaking week. Okay. So when you do that, you'll see a change, a shift in your energy where keeping their, I did this with an ex of mine I hadn't talked to in 8 years. Well, then all of a sudden he contacted me in 72 hours, was like, hey, how you doing? I was just thinking about you. I was like, ooh. There's a lot of people, somebody came into contact with their, a daughter they hadn't talked to in 2 years by doing this with her daughter. And she contacted her in 3 days. Okay, another person got contact in 20 minutes. Another person got contact in 6 hours, right? You can do this with anybody and everybody you want to. Because ever since you first met this person, it's like throwing a rock into your backpack and just every argument, every disagreement you ever had with your SP, it's just throw a rock in there, throw a rock in there, throw a rock in there. Well, cutting the energy, we're about to dump that shit out. Okay? New energy, fresh energy between you and your SP. No old stale energy. Okay? So that's what we're going to do now. It's just a couple minute exercise. So I've been talking long enough, so you should be in a comfortable fucking place. Now, when we cut the energy cord, there will be a cord that runs from your third eye directly into your SP's third eye. You are only going to cut the cord directly from your third eye. You're going to keep the cord in their third eye. You're going to keep it intact, okay? You only cut the one from your third eye, okay? That's what I do. It doesn't matter, Christy. It doesn't matter. It's not going to get worse, okay? It's not going to get worse, but it keeps it fresh. It keeps it fresh. You could do this with anybody. You don't have to do it with SP. You can do it with your children. You can do it with your parents. I suggest you start with those closest in your life and then branch out from there to those that are maybe negative Nellies, even if you don't talk to them anymore, but they're like Debbie Downers, negative people, complainers. Yeah, start with them. We don't want their energy attached to yours anymore, okay? Alrighty. You can do as many times as you want, Catherine. As many times as you want. Somebody did it like, I think 4 times before she got contact. It doesn't matter. You do it all the time. I do it all the time. I do it all the time. What you can do, Jillian, is stop checking. We'll start there. How would you notice if he hasn't replied to you yet? Because you're checking. Because you're checking. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. You guys check the stupidest shit too. You guys be checking online to see if they're online. So what? So what? Put your phone down. Start expecting something different. Jillian, I will address this after the exercise, okay? You need to start expecting something different. Okay? All right. So, now here we go. Okay, so get in a comfortable place, and I want you to close your eyes and just take 3 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Right now, I want you just to forget everything for just a couple minutes. Just relax. Just breathe and live in the moment of now. Forget about what happened 10 minutes ago. Forget about what's going to happen the next 10 minutes. Just live in the moment of now. Let it go. Release it all for just a minute. Now, I want you to imagine that you're in a dark, it's nighttime outside, and you're in a giant amphitheater. You're sitting in the middle of this amphitheater. You're alone. There's no one there. And in front of you, there's a giant stage. And on this stage, there's a single stage light that runs from the ceiling down to the center of the stage. I want you to direct your attention to that light for just a moment. Just look into the light for just a second. And as you're looking into the light, you start to realize and get a sense that you're not alone. In fact, you start to notice that off in the distance, in the back of the stage, out of the light, there's a dark, shadowy figure. And as you shift your focus to that shadowy figure, you start to realize that that person is your SP. Now, I want you to call your SP, say their name. Tell them to come into the light, into the center of the stage. And as your SP begins to walk into the light, into the center of the stage, you start to notice their facial features, their physical features, and you also notice a gold cord that runs directly from your third eye into their third eye. Now, I want you to ask your SP these 2 questions, and I want you to hear them respond. If you can hear their voice, great. If you cannot, that's okay too. I want you to look at your SP and ask your SP right now, do you support me? Hear them tell you yes. Now ask your SP, do you love me? Also hear them tell you yes. Now I want you to say these 4 phrases to your SP. This time they're not going to respond, and that's okay. I want you to look at your SP in their eyes, and I want you to tell them, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Now I want you to reach up with your hand as if it's a pair of scissors. And I want you to cut the gold cord from your third eye only, leaving their cord intact. And as that cord begins to fall to the floor, I want you to reach up with your other hand and just grab the roots of that gold cord out of your third eye and just toss them aside. And as the gold cord continues to fall to the floor, your SP starts to float away like a balloon. And it gets farther and farther, and they get smaller and smaller, and they get farther and farther, and smaller and smaller, and they get farther and farther, and smaller and smaller, and farther and smaller, until they just disappear. Now take another deep breath in and out. And open your eyes. And hopefully you were not distracted by my stomach growling. I was like, oh, that was loud. All right. So now get your SP's photos out. Okay, because we're going to take a little trip down memory lane for just one hot little second. Okay? I want you to get your SP's photos out right now, because we're going to do the photo method. Both of these techniques are on my profile. So there's a series of videos where I'm wearing 3 red shirts. It's the first of the 3 red shirts. That's the energy cord cutting we just did. Save that. The second one we're going to do, there's 2 of them. It's either pinned to the top of my profile, that you could save that video, or there's a 2-part video series with me wearing a bathrobe. It's one of the most recent videos I posted. That's the one that we're going to do now. I updated it. That's this one now. So you can go ahead and save that one instead. Entirely up to you. Both highly effective. Okay? Okay. So we're going to go down memory lane for just one hot little sec. Okay? I want you to go all the way back into the beginning of your relationship. Right now, into the beginning of your relationship. I want you to remember who you were. Who were you as a person? Okay, who were you as a person that had that confidence level about them, that knew who you were. You had a confidence level. You had a certainty and a surety of who you were. Okay, you didn't question anything about yourself. You didn't need outside validation. You didn't need any of that shit. You knew exactly who you were. Because the reality is, even though your SP changed from the first time you met them to who they were at the end of your relationship, you also changed too. You also were not the same person at the end of your relationship that you were in the beginning of your relationship, because oftentimes what happens is we end up changing and shifting identities based on our relationships. And then on top of that, we tend to have relationships create insecurities within ourselves, which impact your relationship. Okay. So we're going back to the version of you that didn't have any of that shit. Okay. That knew who you were. You didn't need someone to tell you who you were. You knew what kind of person you were. You knew what kind of woman you were, what kind of man you were, what you brought to a relationship. You just knew that. You didn't question shit about yourself. Okay. And then you met your SP. And sure, maybe you wanted a relationship, but you certainly didn't need a relationship. Relationships did not define who you were. You were totally fine without being in one. I need you to step into that version of yourself again. Because that version of who you are, is what caused your SP to chase you, to pursue you, to be attracted to you, to want to talk to you all the time, to want to spend time with you, who wanted to be in a relationship with you. That version of yourself is who your SP fell in love with. So you need to go back to that version of who you were, just evolved now. The 2.0 better edition. You need to go back to that bad bitch, that bad bruh. So do that now. Step into that. Step into that identity all over again and become that version of yourself again. Now, we're going to fast forward a little bit to the time in your relationship with you and your SP when everything was absolutely perfect. The time in your relationship where you didn't question anything. You did not question how they felt about you. You didn't question anything about them. Go back to that part of your relationship. And I want you now to remember who your SP was for you. Who were they as a person? How did they treat you? How did they make you feel? Remember that version of your SP right now, because that version of your SP you were attracted to. That person was checking all the boxes. You wanted to spend time together all the time. Like you thought about him all the time. That version of your SP also won your heart. That's the version of your SP that you as well fell in love with. Go back to that version of your SP right now. Because that version of your SP, you never questioned if you would talk to them today. You never questioned if they would contact you. You just knew. You never questioned if you would see them. You knew that they always made time for you. You never questioned their feelings about you because you knew how they felt about you, which is why you got in a relationship with them. That version of your SP, you had no doubt, was into you. You never doubted, wavered, questioned, none of that shit. Not with that version of your SP. So I want you right now to select that version of your SP all over again. No other versions of you or your SP exist from now and moving forward. The only version of your SP that exists is your perfect version of your SP, and the only version of you that exists is the perfect version of you. Nothing else. Nothing else matters. Because the reality is, ever since the day that you last spoke or saw your SP, not a day has gone by that they haven't thought about you. They think about you all the time. All the time. You think you're blocked? No, I got news for you. You have a stalker. Someone who is constantly checking out your profile, who wants to see what you're up to every freaking day. They just don't want you to know it. So they're looking at your profile all the time and then they block you, and just so you don't know. But they're thinking about you all the time. Whenever you think about them, they think about you. That's thought transmission. So you should never question if your SP's thinking about you. Of course they are. They haven't stopped thinking about you. They love everything about you. They have gone through their phone numerous times, looking at your phone, looking at your photos and recalling memories all the time, which is why you're recalling certain memories. Which is why you'll be going about your day and all of a sudden they will just randomly pop into your mind because they're thinking about you. Thought transmission goes two directions. Okay, it goes both directions. You're constantly transferring thoughts to them and they're always transferring thoughts to you. So when they think about you, you think about them. And when you think about them, they think about you. And you need to start expecting that. You need to start expecting the behavior from your SPs that you want from them because they go down memory hole in their gallery all the time. They have been writing text messages to you every single day. They have literally been looking at that call button every fucking day, waiting to press send, waiting to press call. It's time for you to allow them to do that. They cannot do that until you start expecting something different from them than what you're currently getting. Because either way it goes, you are expecting something. You're either expecting them to not talk to you, not want to be with you, to ghost you, block you, and want nothing to do with you, or you're going to start expecting the behavior that you did back then when with your perfect SP, that of course they're going to contact me, of course they want to talk to me, of course they think about me all the time, of course they want to be with me, of course they feel of course I know how they feel about me. Either way, you are expecting something from them. So last time I checked, expecting them to be rude to you, be mean to you, to want you to leave your house, to not want to talk to you, isn't benefiting you at all. But what would happen if you did what I said and selected the version of yourself that you were, and also selected the version of your SP that you never questioned any of this shit from? What would happen if you started expecting the opposite? You would get the opposite. If you want different results, then you need to do things differently. That's how this works. It's like what they say, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. That's 100% true. Because if what you were doing was working, oh, then you'd have what you wanted, okay? So this is how you're going to get different results, by expecting something different from them. Because by expecting the exact same behavior you expected from your SP when everything was peachy king jelly bean in your fucking relationship. We're going back and expecting that shit all over again. Okay? And honestly, maybe this will help you out. How do you expect? And how do you just know? I get that all the time. Okay. You expect by just doing and not questioning shit, not checking. If you are new here, I need you to put on your crown. If you are not new here, you need to straighten your crown, because here we get what we want and we get it when we want it. We don't take our crowns off for shit. What we say goes. When queens and kings give a command, do they question, check, wonder, worry, doubt, fear if their command will be fulfilled? No. When queens and kings give a command, there's nothing to check. There's nothing to question. They just know that their command is going to be fulfilled because they gave the command, and the person they gave the command to must fulfill. That's how this works. That's how this works. So I want you to right now channel your Queen of Hearts energy, okay? If you are alone, you're going to say it you're going to say it out loud. Say it with a little bit of backbone, a little bit of authority, a little command style. If you are not alone, say it in your mind so you don't look like a wacko, okay? Now you're going to look at your SP's photo. If you are in contact with your SP, if you are in no contact with your SP, or you are in contact with your SP but it is not consistent contact, then you're going to command that they contact you right now. You can say contacting, texting, calling. It doesn't matter. However they would naturally reach out to you is how they're going to reach out to you. So you're going to look at their photo and you're going to say, you're texting me right now. 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 And if you are in if you're in constant contact, then you can tell them they're contacting you right now, or you can move to the next step and say, you're coming to see me today. You're coming to see me today. You're coming to see me today. Okay. Now, if you're in any of the ships, friendship, situationship, relationship, marriage ship, all the ships, then you have choices. You can tell them they're contacting you today. They're coming to see you today, or have fun with it. You're bringing me flowers today. You're bringing me flowers today. You're buying me dinner tonight. You're rubbing my feet tonight. You are giving me a massage tonight. You're giving me sexy time tonight. Whatever you want. Doesn't matter. There's no limits. There's no limits. Manifestation is supposed to be fun. So have fun and give your commands. And no, start expecting something different from them. So I'm going to pause this live so I can go to the ladies' room real quick. But right now, I want you to just breathe, relax. Know it's done. Expect the behavior from your perfect version of your SP that you expected that. Expect that right now. And they will come and they will do what you say. So give your command and expect them to contact you. Ready. Now, what did you learn? We're going to expect. Okay? It's expectation. The knowing that pushes out. So start expecting something different from your SP. Do you understand? You're the boss. So start owning it. Okay? Can I just expect my SP to be his old version again instead of fully going? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Okay? But, sorry, someone's trying to log into Google and it kicks me out of my life when that happens. Sorry about that. But yeah, you can. You just need to, you can go into, you can, yeah, for sure. But, oh, it was you, Betty. You don't have to go into detail, but I find that it's beneficial if you do go into detail. Because when you go into detail about the qualities that your SP possesses, the things that you love, it's manifest, the things that you love about your SP, when you go into detail about that, how he possesses, the things that you love, it's manifest, the things that you love about your SP, when you go into detail about that, how does that hurt? Right? That makes you feel good. It makes you recall who he was as a person for you. The only reason you would need to go into detail is if you're having a hard time seeing them as a good ass person for you. See, I didn't have that problem because I never saw him as a bad boyfriend. I never saw him as that. And that's what floors me with you guys, because you guys should find it easy to see the good in your SP. Because why the fuck would you want him back? Why would you want him back? You know what I'm saying? So when you expect something different from your SP, you don't need to check. There's nothing to check. Okay? You send them a texty, then you go about your day, just like you did in your relationship. You sent a text, and then you went about your day, and then they texted you back. That's right, Flashy. Yes, he is. Coming back to be with you right now, girl. Okay? Well, now he's completely disgusted by her. Completely disgusted by her. Everything about her is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Because if it's by lust, a lot of people that's why people cheat, is based on lust. Okay? So that's where you have to change that. You have to change that to be like, no. Actually, he's disgusted by her. Everything about her is disgusting. She's the worst he's ever had. Shit. That's a good one. She's actually the worst sex he's ever had in his entire life. Yeah. You have to know and leverage. Yes. And those are things that you wouldn't have to say 25,000 times. You could say it like 2 times. Wouldn't be a big deal. You could literally just throw it. You guys should throw. I want you guys, okay? You know today is don't check the 3D day. Okay? That's what today is. Don't check the 3D. And don't question shit Thursday. That's what today is. Okay? Now, I also want to challenge you guys to throw random shit out there. Throw random shit out there. Okay, that you just don't think about again. If it comes to gutter trash, throw some random shit out there about gutter trash. It will come true. It will come true. That's the fun part. Okay, you just throw it out there one time. Then you don't think about it again. Then you keep pushing, and then all of a sudden it conforms. It happens again. Okay. Anything else? Like, I know he's thinking about sleeping. I know he's thinking about how much he wants me right now. Yeah, I know that for a fact. And then keep pushing. I know he wants nothing more than come have dinner with me tonight. Yeah, he's totally going to come have dinner with me tonight. I'm totally going to run into him at the market today. I know I am. And then just keep it pushing. There's no difference than you saying I'm going to see a red car than throwing random shit out there and having it manifest. Okay? No. Let's let's clarify this whole believing shit, okay? If you're affirming it, no, you don't have to believe it, okay? You don't have to believe anything. But you guys are this is how I always know, you're overanalyzing it. You're overanalyzing it because who the fuck sits there and says something and then after is like, but do I really believe that? Like, deep down, I really don't believe that. Huh? You just say it. You just say it. There's nothing to question. Do I believe that is a question? Why would you question that? Okay? This is where I don't like, where a lot of creators will tell you just to be delusional about everything. But your inner conversations aren't being delusional. Okay? It's going back. That's all it is. You're not being completely delusional about shit like you were about Santa Claus. Okay? Because you had no proof of Santa Claus. So you were completely delusional about it, which is why every time you brought your kids into the Walmart during Christmas time, and they could very much read, never once did they pick up on the fact that it says stocking stuffers every fucking where. Never once. Have you noticed that? Never once has your kid even noticed that. Why? Because they believe in something they've never even seen, something they've never experienced. They chose to believe it. Therefore, they didn't even notice stocking stuffers all throughout the stores. You know, just like they believe in the Easter Bunny, yet you take them to Target or the grocery store and there's pre-made Easter baskets all over the fucking place. And they'll even go up and look at them. But it never dawns on them that the Easter Bunny doesn't go to Ralph's. Excuse me, you call it Kroger. To pick up your Easter basket. So I don't look at it like you're being delusional. This is stuff you're recalling, okay? Inner conversations are things you're recalling. That's not being delusional. You've experienced this with your SP before, okay? So you've experienced talking to them all the time on the phone before. So because you've experienced that before, all you're doing is recalling that all over again and saying, okay, when I experienced this with my SP before and we were talking all the time, what was I saying? To my bestie, to anyone who would listen and was asking me about my relationship, I was like, oh my God, we're so fucking great. Like literally, he texts me good morning every single day. We literally have the best conversations. Like he's always telling me about how he feels, you know. We could just talk for hours on the phone. Seriously, we fell asleep last night on the phone together. We talked for like over 5 hours. Like that's an inner conversation. You're not making this shit up. You did it before. You know what I'm saying? So you're just recalling. That's all it is recalling the good shit. And then when it comes to inner conversation number 2, I tell you guys, there's 3 inner conversations you need to have with yourself. One is if you're in no contact or it's not consistent, what conversation would you be having if you absolutely were in consistent contact? Because you've done it before, okay? Not being delusional. And what's there not to believe? You experienced it before, okay? So then the second inner conversation you should be having is recalling everything. Again, recalling. Why wouldn't you believe it? They said it out of their mouth. You're not making this shit up. Okay. So you're recalling all of the things that they have told you in the past about how they feel about you, about how the things they love about your relationship, things like that. Again, you're not making this shit up. Now, if they have never told you these things, then you go based off of their actions. This is where they say actions speak louder than words. Actions only speak louder than words if their actions are telling you the opposite of what's coming out of their mouth. So if they're telling you, like, I have commitment issues. Let's say you've never been in a committed relationship with your SB. And they're like, I just have commitment issues. I just don't want a relationship. But then everything that they're doing speaks to relationship because they're taking you on dinner. They're taking you on dates. They're coming to hang out with you all the fucking time. Like what you would call a situationship. And so now you go off their actions. You're like, okay, I see what he's saying out of his mouth, but what he's saying out of his mouth isn't matching his behavior. Now you go based on his behavior. What does his behavior show you about how he feels about you? Again, that's not being delusional. That's not making shit up. That is recalling facts, what they have said out of their mouth, because what they said at that time was very much true. So you're just recalling that again. Okay. The third inner conversation you have is where we umbrella everything. Okay. So, you know, umbrella affirmations are like everything in my life is perfect, right? I'm living my dream life right now, right? Those are umbrella affirmations. So now we umbrella an inner conversation. So now you take everything and now you tell yourself, I know exactly how he fucking feels about me. You just recalled everything he's told you. Okay. So you know how he feels about you. I know exactly how he feels about me, because if you know how he feels about you, guess what he knows? Exactly what you know, how he feels about you. Okay. And then you tell yourself, I have no doubt that he wants to be in a relationship with me. I know this for a fucking fact because you were in one before. Okay. And because if you know how he feels about you, then you should know he wants to be in a relationship with you. Okay. And I don't care if he fucking told you the opposite. I don't care. It doesn't matter. That affirmation still works because you're going off of his actions and what his actions showed you before. Okay. Then the third one of this third inner conversation is they're going to tell me, he or she is telling me everything that I want to hear. Everything that I want to hear. There's your confirmation, your reassurance, all your validation, all that shit. I've tested this numerous times with people. If you do those three things alone, you're a winner. If you literally only said if you literally only recalled what they said to you, the things that they told you, and then you did the third inner conversation I just told you right now, you'll see a turnaround very fast. If you see them as a good person, if you see them as a good boyfriend, good girlfriend for you, you will see the turnaround real fucking fast. Real fast. In my experience, for a majority of people, they saw an entire complete turnaround. When their 3D showed them the opposite, when they were verbally told the opposite from their SPs, complete turnaround 7 days. As if that shit never happened. And oftentimes they won't even bring up what they had said to you, because that's not the version you're recalling anymore. And oftentimes they won't remember what they have said to you. And you'll repeat it back to them and they'll be like, what are you talking about? Yeah. I was told something I can't really elaborate on here, but I was told something, and I was just like, that's a long fucking time from now. I was like, I don't think so. I don't think so. No, this is happening now, right? And the very next day I was on the phone, and they were very date specific. The very next day I was on the phone with this person, and I said, well, that's a long time. I said the date. I said, that's fucking a long time from now. And this person was like, what are you talking about? They're like, what are you talking? They didn't even remember telling me the date. They're like, what are you talking about? No, that is a long time from now. That's not when this is happening. It's happening next week. They didn't even recall the date. They didn't even know what I was talking about. Like I pulled the date out of my ass. Because that's not the version of them that you're selecting. You've decided something different, and now they've decided something different too, and they have no idea what the fuck they told you in the past. I have another client that dealt with this, where he said, I forgot what he said, something like, I'm moving out. Oh yeah, he was like, I'm moving out. And so she had mentioned it to him. And he was like, what are you talking about? I never said that. Now she knows what she did wrong, because she's like, yeah, you did say that. He's like, no, I didn't say that. She goes, yes, you did say that. And she convinced him that he had said that shit, and it manifested, right? So, but oftentimes they won't even remember that shit at all. At all. That's what I'm saying, Jillian. So inner conversations manifest faster, and random bad thoughts, do you know what those are? Those are also a form of inner conversations, which is why they also push out, which is why it goes through. It goes through. But this shouldn't be a challenge for you. We'll address this in a sec. Let me get through these fucking things. Okay, listen. Listen, fucking listen. Who knows, Flashy? Who knows? Maybe it'll be one of those things, a sinkhole. But that will be parroted back to her. I've tested it. That'll be parroted back to her. Oh, man. So, hey, Mariah, girlfriend. Can see autopilot happening. That is what I am wanting to change. Yeah, okay, so Jack, I couldn't have said that shit best. I could not have said that shit best. Because you're right. You're welcome, Tracy, girlfriend. What up, Diamond Sister? It's a Google Meet call, Jillian. Okay, so Jillian, here's the thing. You are like, you're flip-flopping. You need to stock that shit off, okay? You're too into like, well, what if I have a negative thought? Okay, what up, Gabriel? It's unrealistic. I don't give unrealistic advice here. So I'm not about to sit here and be like, you will never have a negative thought. That's fucking stupid. That is so stupid. You know, this is why I don't like the law of attraction people that come out here and they're like, all you need to do is be in a high vibration and have a positive mindset. No, I used to teach mindset to the group of entrepreneurs that I was supporting. Right. And I said, I will not teach you how to have a positive mindset because let me tell you why. There's a whole lot of positive, broke ass fucking people in this world. Are there not? Yeah, they're very positive, but that ain't changing their life. It's not about having a positive mindset and being high vibration at all. That's not how you get that's not how you get what you want. It's about persisting in what you want. And what you want and the desire for what you want has to outweigh the negative shit. The negative shit. You have to understand that there are so many people that are on here all the fucking time telling you that there's so many people on here all the time being like, oh my God, I manifested this, I manifested that. Terry, that's why we saying, who just wants to manifest one thing? You can manifest whatever you want, Deriz. A financial windfall in your life. Yeah, there was somebody on here, Green is her name, that was dealing with major odds. Very positive person. Dealing with major odds stacked against her. Did what I said. And things are turning around in her life. She received $1,100 out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. She has no idea where it came from. Of course. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Nothing matters. So it's not about having a positive mindset. It's about persisting in what the fuck you want. Do you want to be back together with your SP or do you not? I did. So I wasn't going to question a goddamn thing. What I need to question for? And why on earth would I want to see? How stupid do I look? Wanting to manifest back an asshole. How stupid do I look? When I could just go manifest somebody else. Have a fresh start. So to me, that doesn't make any sense why it's hard for you to see the version of your SP that you want them to be for you. That you want them to be for you. Because you said, I think you're confused in your own mind about what you want from your SP because you said, because I have a stellar memory, you said that you want, what did you say? You said, you said, can I just see the old version of my SP without going into detail? That's what you said. Then you said a couple of things later, it's just hard for me to see him be, it's just hard for me to imagine him changing. So either you want the old version or you want an evolved version of your SP because you can have him be whoever you want. You can have him be whoever you want for you. But you keep bitching about him. You keep wavering and thinking, oh my God, I had a negative thought. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? There's a delay for your benefit. So if you have a negative thought, just flip that shit real quick and keep pushing. Keep it pushing. But stop with the nonsense. Stop with the nonsense. It's fucking stupid. Oh yeah, Elle, you missed it, girlfriend. Yes, it's manifest. I will say the 3 inner conversations again. First inner conversation, as if it's happening now. Go back in time in your relationship where you were talking all the time to your SP. Okay? Where you guys talked all day long, all the time. You had no question, you had no doubt that you would talk to them. You just knew because you did it all the time, right? You'd send a text, you go about your day because you knew that they would text you back, right? You knew at 5 o'clock when they got off of work, they were going to call you, right? That's what you knew. So go back to that time when everything was great. You guys were talking all the time. If your bestie was to have called you up on the phone and been like, dude, tell me all about how are you and Matt doing? What would you have said? Your conversation would be something like, we're great, dude. Everything's going great. Like, we have the best conversations. Like, we talk all the fucking time, like all day long. Like, he tells me everything, you know, like we can't stop talking to each other. In fact, we can't, like, it's hard to hang up the phone. We actually fell asleep on the phone together last night. You know, we're constantly talking for like 3-4 hours on the phone every single night. Like, it's great. We'll watch TV together on the phone. Like, whatever you would do on the phone when you were with your SP, that's inner conversation number one, as if it's true. And it's not scripted. None of these are scripted because this is a natural inner conversation. If you were to call 10 people up today and tell 10 people how your day went today, the things you did today don't change, but the conversation is not going to be the same word for word verbatim to the 10 people. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to sit there and be like, hold on, I woke up this morning and then I went ahead and brushed my teeth. You know what I'm saying? You're not reading a script. Robotic affirmations are something you're reading, something you've written down. You say it the same way each time. But this is something natural that you would be talking to somebody about. And then the second inner conversation is reminding yourself about the things that they've told you about how they feel about you, or the things that they love in your relationship with them. Okay. The things they loved about your relationship. Now, if they've never told you these type of things before, then now this is where actions speak louder than words. So now you go off of their actions. So like, let's say you've never been in a relationship with this person before. That's fine. But what are their, or they tell you that they don't want commitment. Like, I just don't want to be in a relationship. That's fine. But what are their actions showing you? This is where situationships derive from. Because they're wanting a relationship, they're waiting for SP to commit, and listening to their words that they don't want one. But if they would look on their actions, then they would be like, no. Because if you would all focus on their actions and see that their actions literally tell you the opposite, then you'd be like, no, I'm sorry, I don't believe what you're fucking saying. Like, in your mind, you'd be like, I don't believe this because your actions say the opposite. Like, literally, the actions say the opposite. And so now you go off their actions. And what do their actions show you? Well, that tells you how they feel about you. And so you recall that. Like, no, I know that I know that they love me. Like, that I know because they do this for me. We do this together. We do this together. They're constantly taking me on dates. Like, we spend every day together. Like, all of these things, right? And then, so that's inner conversation number 2. Inner conversation number 3 is umbrella. You're umbrellaing everything. So now it's basically, I know exactly how they feel about me. Okay, we're leveraging the I know, because your subconscious mind takes you at your word and pushes out what you know. So that's where we leverage. And we tell our subconscious mind what the fuck we know. Okay, so you say, I know exactly how he feels about me. I literally know exactly how he feels about me. I have no doubt. I know for a fact he wants to be in a relationship with me. I know that for a fact, right? Then it's, they're going to tell me, he's going to tell me everything that I want to hear. He's telling me everything that I want to hear. That third statement is very important, especially if you know that you're going to see them. If you know that you're going to see them, see the best version of them, and tell yourself that they're going to tell me everything I want to hear. He's telling me everything I want to hear. He's telling me everything I want to hear. And then when you see them, they will. Because the third one is going to give you confirmation. It's going to give you validation. And it's going to give you reassurance, which is all the things that you want any fucking way. So that's where I say, instead of waiting for them to do all that, you should be focused on, no, they're going to tell me everything that I want to hear. So therefore, you get the confirmation, okay? Because yes, you are the confirmation, right? You're the confirmation, you're the validation, and you don't need someone else to validate. However, in a relationship, especially with us ladies, is we still want them to validate, for them to give us reassurance. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still want that, even though you know that that's how they feel. It's nice to hear them tell you that, right? So instead of sitting there waiting for them, you know, you can push them along, give them a little nudge by focusing on your conversations. Like, no, he's going to tell me everything I want to hear. He's telling me everything I want to hear. He tells me every day how much he loves me. He shows me every day that he's in love with me. He's constantly giving me compliments. Whatever you want to say, that's your validation, because now he's going to start complimenting you. He's going to start telling you the things that you want to hear. He's going to start giving the reassurance that you want. So therefore, you're not questioning so much. At least you shouldn't be questioning so much anymore, because he's confirming verbally to you, because you're helping him out. You want that. So if you want that, then that's your inner conversations can also be around that. Plus, like, let's say you've got a family member that your family just doesn't like your SP. You can have, this is not consistent. You can literally have random conversations within yourself, like one time, and never talk about it again. Where you can be like, no, actually my family fucking loves him. They totally adore him. They completely support our relationship. That I know. And they keep it pushing. You know how I think about it again. All of a sudden your family starts to like him again. And you didn't think about it again. Yeah. That's the power of inner conversations, because you're doing them anyway. Do you understand? Do you understand? Well, that's right, Terry. That's right, girlfriend. You guys should not have a problem in persisting in perfect version of SP. Bae, okay, listen. I'm going to tell you one more fucking time. That they will only have feelings for you that you assume they feel about you. So get very clear on how you want this man to feel about you. Assume he feels about you that now. Tell yourself that. I know exactly how he feels about me. Yeah, this man is in love with me. Like, he thinks I'm the best thing since sliced fucking bread. I'm the only one he ever cares about. All the things that you want him to feel about you, and be like, I know exactly how he feels about me. When you know exactly how he feels about you, so will he. So will he. But you are wanting him to tell you how he feels about you without knowing how he feels about you. Therefore, he says that's the only thing stopping us. I don't know how I feel about you. I don't have feelings for you, because you're questioning the shit, because you don't know. So get a grip and start knowing. Start knowing right now. All of you, start fucking knowing how they feel about you, and that they want to be with you, and they're perfect for you. Do you understand? That's your 3 focus today. We're not questioning shit, and we're not checking shit today. But what you're focused on today is seeing them only as the perfect version of your SP for you, how the fuck they feel about you, and that they want a relationship with you. Duh! Those are the 3 things. 3 fucking things that you are to focus on today. Because when you get clear on that, they are now going to get very clear on it too. Your perfect people turn around like night and day. Starting tomorrow, totally different fucking person, like they were never that person before. Loving you and wanting to be with you and all this shit. We need a whole long fucking time, if it ever comes, if you can't start seeing the version of them that you want them to be. So that's the 3 things that you are to focus on today. Do you understand? Those 3 things, and no reacting. No reacting. Those 3 things only. And I want you to really, really immerse yourself in those inner conversations of how they feel about you. How the fuck could you want someone to be with you if you don't know how they feel about you? Let's reverse the roles here. Would you want to be with somebody if you don't know how you feel about them? No. No, you fucking wouldn't. You'd be like, why would I want to be in a relationship with you? I don't even know if I like you. So what the fuck is that? How are they any different? They're not any different. So you need to know how they feel about you. Duh. And then they will. And then you need to know they want a relationship with you. What the fuck is wrong with you? If you know how they feel about you, then you know they want a relationship with you. Period. And see them as your perfect version, because that's why you want them back, for fuck's sake. You know it. I know it. We all know it. The only reason you want them back is because you love them. I don't think you love an asshole, do you? I don't think you love an avoidant and a bitch, do you? No, you don't. Somewhere you see the good in them. Somewhere you want them back because you know they're your fucking person. So see them only as that fucking person. Do you understand? Now get to it. 3 things today. Let me remind you again. How you see your version. Only perfect version of your SP. Get clear and know exactly how the fuck they feel about you. Who cares what they said if it was the opposite today? I don't give a fuck if they told you the opposite 20 seconds ago. Nope, I don't think so, because your actions, honey bunny, when we're perfect, say the opposite, bitch. So yeah, I know exactly how the fuck you feel about me. You've said it before. So I'm going to go back to that, and I'm going to recall that. And that's all I need to fucking know. And the third thing you're going to do is get very clear. Of course they want a relationship with me. Why the fuck wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? If they love you, if they care about you, if they told you all these things in the past, why wouldn't they want a relationship with you? When you understand that, they'll all conform. And today is Don't Question or Check Thursday. All right? Now get to it. Get to it, bitches. Do you understand? If you are interested in having me manifest your recipe for you, or you want one-on-one coaching with me, join my WhatsApp community, text coaching, whatever your pleasure. All links are in my bio. I go live every day at 10 o'clock Pacific time. I try not to yell, but sometimes you all just, well, let's be honest, I yell almost every day. But I do it because I love you. Literally. I do it all. I'm looking forward to talking to you, Angela. I love all of you, and I want what's best for you. If you ever miss my live at 10 o'clock Pacific time, I forgot. Link is in the description or my bio where I go. I post it on the tube of the you. Okay? Let me check Dr. Xtina. Okay? But I love each and every one of you. How the fuck am I supposed to get you to get what you want if I don't check your ass because you're out of line? I'm not. If you want to whine and complain and you want someone to be like, it's all right, honey, pick yourself up, it's gonna be all right, you're in the wrong fucking station. You're in the wrong station. Live stream, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You're in the wrong place, because I'm not that person. I'm not that bitch. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh my God, you spiraled today? Oh, you're living in victim mentality today? No, I'm not the fucking one. I'm not the one. Because it doesn't get you anywhere. Because when people coddle you, do you know what that does to you? This is where people this creates a benefit for you. Why change? Why change? Well, thanks, Shenzi. Why change when I get so much attention being a victim? Why would you want that attention? Because you will find the benefit from it. This is Munchausen syndrome, right? Is you benefit by being a victim because you get attention. Not from me. Not from fucking me. I will go mail you a Depends diaper and you can put that shit on and walk around like a little baby all fucking day long. But I'm not going to tolerate that shit. Not here. Because that's not going to get you results. And how the fuck do I get you results? And how do I change your reality and help you change your reality if I can get you out of your own fucking way? You need to get out of your own way. And you need to fight for what you want. And if you do what I say, you have nothing to worry about. If you do what I say, I promise you'll get everything that you want. Because I know exactly what the fuck I'm doing. And now I need you to know exactly what the fuck you're doing, that you're a powerful ass bitch. And the second you own your power, you're unstoppable. You could have them doing whatever you want. You can have anyone doing whatever you want. You can get whatever you want the second you really fully step into your power. They conform quickly. Step into that power now. All right? I had a coaching call, bitches. I gotta go. I love all of you besties. And I will see you all in the WhatsApp group or tomorrow. All right. Bye.